Toastmaster Kalpana, you can start.
Okay. All right, very quickly, guys. Good afternoon and welcome each and every one of you to the Speakers Community Toastmasters meeting. As it is, we all understand that there are certain rules that we follow when it comes down to our meetings. And these are the protocols that we follow. Just give me a second, guys. I'm Kalpana Kishore and I'm your star for today. We are going to have a wonderful meeting today. So please, everyone, seat well tightened and let your Toastmaster inside you rage and learn from this meeting that we have brought down to you. All right. Let me just tell you about some of the ground rules that we have. In that ground rule, please ensure that all your mobiles are on silent. It does not disturb the speaker. At the same time, I will give you all 3 seconds to rewrite your name as per the role that you might have taken up. All right, there you go. I'm just giving you 10 seconds. Please rewrite. So for example, if you are a timer, write timer underscore and then your name. It should be followed by your name. It is very easy for us to recognize you on this Zoom and reach out to you. All right. There's another rule where our Toastmasters organization is concerned, and that rule is that under no circumstances we are going to talk about sex, religion, or politics. Let us keep this in mind as we go ahead with this meeting. Now, what do you think is going to be the mission of Toastmasters? Let me tell you, the mission of a Toastmasters Club is to provide a supportive and a positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and also leadership skills. What does happen? What happens when you do this? It results in greater confidence and personal growth. So let us keep the mission in mind. Let us keep the learning in mind. And let us watch as each and every speaker brings to us a lot of their thoughts and ideas. So to continue this meeting, of course, I'm going to hand it over to a presiding officer. And who is our presiding officer? Shefali Chandrakar. Now, Shefali is a mining engineer. Can you imagine an engineer, that too into mining? Yeah, I know. I can imagine myself going down the mines at the coal mines. Well, I wish she was a gold miner, but yes, she's a steel miner working with Tata. And she is a great Toastmaster, a great personality with her ever smiling face. Let us all welcome Presiding Officer Shefali with a huge round of applause. Welcome, Shefali. The stage is all yours.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Kalpana. Good afternoon, everyone. I welcome you all in 128th meeting of Speakers Community Toastmasters Club. I'm very happy to announce here that last week we had ISC and the winner has been declared for International Speech Championship. The winner is Luisa Montalvo. She is, as far as I have heard, from Pakistan. I hope you all see her speech in YouTube. I'll share the link in the chat box very soon. Apart from this, today we have with us our area director, Toastmaster Sumit Arya. Toastmaster Sumit works with Geo and he is a former army person. So I'm very happy that Toastmaster Sumit can be here and we are very pleased to have you here, Toastmaster Sumit. I look forward to have you more in our meeting. Apart from this, we'll be having our competition soon, very soon. Now I give the stage back to Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Kalpana, who is a trainer and also a writer who writes blog. And she is a person who enjoys nature and walking in nature. So Toastmaster Kalpana, over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shefali, for the lovely introduction. So let me take you to today's meeting. But before I take you to today's meeting, tell me, how many of you are actually enjoying monsoons? Raise your hands. Yes, we all enjoy monsoons. We like those clouds. We like the pitter patter of rains. And we love to be under the rug and enjoy the pakoras. But what is it that is better than monsoons? Anybody? What is better than monsoon? So what is it that nature gives us after the monsoon?
That greenery?
Yes, it is lush green. What else?
Rainbow.
Rainbow. Can you imagine? That is what is the theme today. Be a rainbow. How can we be a rainbow when nature itself is throwing a rainbow at us? You know, when I tried to segregate both the words rainbow, I think the rain is taking a bow to tell us that after the clouds, after the darkness, I don't just give you light, I give you light with vibrant colors. Vibgyor. What comes into our life after the rains are over? It's Vibgyor, it's colors. So tell me, what are all the colors of rainbow? I've already told you Vibgyor. Anybody who would like to tell me the colors? V stands for
Violet.
violet, I for
Indigo.
Indigo.
yes.
B for blue.
Green, yellow, orange, red.
Yes, fantastic. I think I took you all back to the school days, right? I could hear an answer that a student says, yeah, tick, 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 tick. Here you are. Yes. And as I sat and watched one such rainbow last week in the skies of Gurgaon, post a rain, the thought came to my mind. Don't we all go through the clouds of doubts? Don't we all go through the melancholy mood or the sad mood once in a while? Yes, we all do. And how do we cope up with that mood? Perhaps it's tears, which is the rain of the soul. But what happens after the rain of the soul washes away the darkness, the doubts, the confidence? Yeah, I mean the low confidence that it washes away. What is it that we have? If we allow a rainbow really emerges through us within our mind, because things have cleansed. How do these rainbows actually match with your emotions and with your personality? Hey, stay tuned for that. Stay tuned how we also are a part of nature, a part of heavens, just like the way it lets go of its heavy clouds of rainfall on us and gives us a rainbow in the sky. What is the rainbow of mind? How are we going to deal with the rainbow of mind? What are our colors? What are our individual colors? Stay tuned for more of that. Let me bring you back to nothing else but Toastmasters meeting. So hello folks, let me tell you what is a Toastmasters meetings. We have very nicely segregated it into three parts. The first part is prepared speech. Second part is table topics. It is followed by general evaluation. But today we've just messed up a little with the menu that we are going to serve you. All right. We'll be beginning with prepared speeches and table topics. So it is one of my favorites. I have just kept it aside because we have with us a wonderful educationist to help us all prepare for a laughter show that the Toastmaster is going to arrange. That is the humorous speech contest. Now, you must be thinking, I'm all alone. Well, no, I'm not all alone. Nobody is alone in this world if you're a Toastmaster. I have with me a team of 3 people. And let me call out my timer, Shivani. She is going to record the timings for us for 8 speeches. Toastmaster Shivani, this stage is all yours. Let me just see. I think, Shivani, did you send me a introduction?
Yes, Kalpana.
Just give me a second. I think it is lost in all the. I've got grooves. 1 minute. Okay. I think I'll ask you to continue. I'll speak about you when I'm giving it to the general evaluator. Can I ask you to continue, please, timer, so that we don't waste time? Go ahead.
Sure, Kalpana. Hello, everyone. Hello, fellow Toastmasters and all the guests if here. Good afternoon. I am timer for today's meeting, and I will be noting down the time for the speeches, like prepared speeches, table topic speakers, and also the evaluators. And I will be showing the time cards for minimum qualifying time, maximum qualifying time as green, yellow, and red. So I'll just show the time cards right now so that we can confirm if it is visible clearly or not. So green is for minimum qualifying time. Red is for maximum qualifying time. In between, I'll be showing yellow as well.
Thank you so much. A huge round of applause for our timer, Shivani. She's a first-time timer, so I request each of us to bear with her, help her and guide her whenever it's necessary. Let me give you a small introduction. I have managed to find it among my messages. She is actually a part of Cap Gemini Mumbai Toastmasters Club. She's passionate about exploring various marketing tactics and campaigns. In her free time, she likes to get involved in community work and public speaking. Great. Thank you for this opportunity is what she is saying. And thank you, Shivani, for joining us today. May I move on to our R counter? R counter? Just a second, let me. Shifali, could you just highlight the counter? Here it is, I found my agenda. Toastmaster Mega. Toastmaster Mega. Is she here? All right. Right now, we are not having. Can I request someone from the people who are present here to be in our counter? Toastmaster Rupal, is it possible for you? I'll be making note of your hours. And can you just make note of the hours of everyone? You're the only person I see who can help us.
Sure. No issues.
All right. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rupal. And I'll just explain, or will you be able to let me explain the rules over here of the R? R's and arms are very important when you are speaking. So here is what you need to do. While you speak, please take care of your R's, ums, and R's and repeated words. Repeated words like this, that, but, all right. All these things will be noticed by our counter person, and the report will be given once the general evaluator calls for the report. Moving on. Yes, I will be coming down to your colors. Colors from the Vibgyor. What is your color? And how do we all cope up with our emotions or what does this color reflect and tell as to who we are and how emotional we are based on our colors and how we can cope up with our emotions. But before I come to that, I would certainly like to move on with the segment called Prepared Speeches. And the first speaker is none other than Toastmaster Akshata. Oh yes, my bad, Ranjini. My bad, I have, forgotten grammarian Ranjini. Grammarian Ranjini is our, just a second. The grammarian Ranjini is a person who I know from the time I have been in Toastmasters. Here is a small introduction that she has sent it across to me. She is actually a teacher by profession and a Toastmaster by passion. She loves to attend and enjoys various clubs and takes up roles whenever it's feasible. The stage is all yours, Ranjini. Thank you for bearing for that with me for the
Thank
day.
you so much. Is my screen visible?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, and good afternoon, Toastmaster of the Day, fellow Toastmasters, and dear guests. As a grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all the speakers, listening carefully to their language usage, and I will take note of not so correct usage of the English language, as well as examples of good usage. It's also my duty to introduce the word of the day, which is ecstatic. It's an adjective meaning feeling or expressing overwhelming happiness or joyful excitement. Synonyms, elated, euphoric, and there are many. Usage, as you can see, I was ecstatic when I received the offer letter. The team was ecstatic about their victory. Today, we also have an idiom of the day, which is vim and vigor, meaning full of life. Though, example, though he is old, he is full of vim and vigor. That means he is full of energy. And whenever a speaker uses the word of the day or the idiom of the day in the right context, I would request the audience to show a silent thumbs up as a mark of appreciation. I will present the report when called upon by the general evaluator. And also I will paste the word of the day and the idiom of the day in the chat box. So kindly use it. And over to you, Toastmaster of the Day. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Grammarian Ranjini, for that detailed word of the day explanation as well as the phrase of the day. Well, let us hope that there is women vigor in this meeting today, all right? We all know that we have to get up for the humorous speech. So let us maintain our women vigor throughout. Well, I'm actually elated to welcome our icebreaker speech speaker, a new member called Akshata. But before I welcome Akshata, I would like you all to welcome evaluator Dhruv Tiwari. And the stage is yours, Dhruv.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Kalpana. Toastmaster Akshata is attempting her L1P1 speech from the dynamic leadership. The purpose of this speech is to the member to introduce themselves to the club and learn the basic structure of a public speech. I wish the best of luck to Toastmaster Akshata for her speech. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Kalpana.
Thank you so much, Dhruv. And Dhruv has sent me hers this, but it is I'm find myself juggling too many things. I will be giving his introduction when I introduce him to General Evaluator Sumit. Let's continue right now. Toastmaster Akshata, the title of her speech. But before I tell you the title, Toastmaster Akshata, I want her to be highlighted. Zoom Master, may I request you to highlight Toastmaster Akshata? All right, Toastmaster Akshata, yes, can you just tell me show me, absolutely correct. Can you just be a bit more behind so that we can see your hand gestures? Great. Now say something. I love rainbows.
I love rainbows.
Yes, you are audible and
Yeah.
visible. All right. Toastmaster Akshata. Pursuit of happiness. Pursuit of happiness. Toastmaster Akshata.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I hope everyone should become rich and famous and do everything that they have ever dreamt of, just to see that that's not an answer. Once said Jim Carrey. Have you ever wondered what truly makes us happy? I certainly have, and my journey to find it has been quite an adventure. I was born in 1993 to my parents in Mumbai. My brother was just 5 years elder and was very happy to have a younger sister. Playing with mud, catching tadpoles, making paper boats, playing with friends, animals, and singing is how joyful my childhood was. I was a bunch of joy. My parents were super entertained by my acts, as I found happiness in every little thing that I did. My love for animals and puppies was so immense that my family nicknamed me as Puppy. I think that they figured out that I could not get enough into my house. I might as well become one myself. Then came my teenage and early adulthood. I turned into a curious and a kind girl. My father always wanted me to pursue academics and be an academician, and always handed me academic books. But surprisingly, one day I found few books in my bookshelf by the name Silva Method and Power of Subconscious Mind. I was so obsessed by the power of our own mind that when I turned 16, I convinced my mother to pay hefty fees for a 10-day Silva Mind Control workshop. My sales pitch? I'll get straight A's, mom. When I went, while in college, I also registered myself for a 10-day Vipassana workshop. That is a 10-day meditation course. Dreaming to unlock the secrets of the universe. But what I found there was that just a simple act of focusing on your breath helps you gain mental clarity. Meditation is just like a mental shower. Just as you clean your body daily, you need to clean your mind regularly. There, I met a guru at Vipassana Center who introduced me to the concept of happiness. She said, inner peace leads to calm mind, and which eventually leads to happiness. I started preparing for UPSC after completing my master's in chemistry. I was very inspired by Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar's selfless service. So my ambition became to become an IAS officer. I worked really hard for 2 years and went for UPSC coaching in Delhi. In 2020, I had to return back to Mumbai due to pandemic. The same year, I also lost my father, and the impact was huge. I tried really hard to continue my preparation in spite of knowing that I couldn't. I felt helpless, that I couldn't accomplish my ambition. That's when I stumbled upon a course by the name Science of Well-Being conducted by University of Yale. That's where I learned that happiness is a practice. Simple things such as meditation, practicing gratitude, savoring experiences, kindness and social connections, sleep and exercise helps you boost your happiness. I was ecstatic to find this secret. My pursuit of happiness led me to learn more about leadership. As leadership fosters human connections and helps you become a better person. This is what led me to joining Toastmasters. I'm so proud to become a Toastmaster today. But if you are on your quest to happiness, I want to tell you one thing, that happiness is not about circumstances or the material things that you have. It's all about how you perceive the world and how you experience the world. It's a state of mind. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day. Thank you so much.
We all give a standing ovation to our first time icebreaker speaker. Fantastic. It is nice to know that we all need to pursue happiness, and also the fact that you have broken the ice with a smile and happiness on everybody's face. Thank you so much, Akshata. And we are now moving on to our second speaker. And the second speaker for the day is, just a second. I'm sorry, so I'm juggling a lot of things simply from my mobile. Here we are. Yes, our second speaker is Toastmaster Jay, and we have Toastmaster Akshaya, sorry, my bad, Akshaya Krishnan as the evaluator. Toastmaster Akshaya is a Toastmasters from many years. She is our VP PR. She's extremely active, a quiz lover, and she enjoys her play with words. She's extremely good. I call her the Shakespearean of my club. And let me hand it over to this versatile person, Akshaya, as the as the evaluator for speaker 2, Ajay. The stage is yours, Akshaya.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kalpana. Today, my target speaker is Toastmaster Jai Singh. He is currently pursuing his pathway persuasive influence and is at level 2. The purpose of his speech is for this project is for the member to learn about different communication styles and identify his or her primary style, and to share the impact of his or her style to others. Back to you, Toastmaster Kalpana.
Thank you so much, Akshaya. Toastmaster Jay. Yes, can you just say the rainbow is beautiful?
Your rainbow is beautiful.
You're audible and visible. And I won't make this mistake again. I just want you to check and tell me whether you do see the timer cards.
No issue.
Yes.
Completely fine.
All right. Thank you so much. Would you like me to ask Shivani to flip the timer cards, or you can see them?
Not yet, I can see.
Yeah. Shivani, do you mind?
Now I can see.
You can see them? Fantastic. Thank you so much. Here we go. Toastmaster Jay. It's a matter of time. It's a matter of time, Toastmaster Jay.
Very warm good evening to all my Toastmaster friends and future Toastmasters. Before I start, I would like to ask one simple question. How many of you know about Sukra? Or how many you don't know? Good. And how many of you know about Pluto? Perfect. So less people are aware about Socrates and more people about the Pluto. What are the realities behind it and how it is connected with my speech? Let me share an incident Sukrat was the main member in the courts. You see, in 339 BCE, before Jesus Christ, 339 years before. At that time, always people were thinking what could be the best strategy to form new strategy policies for the governance. How this universe is working, how the entire structure has been made by the God. He was always thinking, how can we do this? How can we do that? And at that time, there was a student, Pluto. Socrates was the manta and Pluto was the manti for him. And today you already observe the manti is far ahead compared to the mentor itself. What are the philosophy what he learned from him? Pluto learned two specific things from him. The first thing is the questioning and second is the dare. How? Socrates told him, whenever there is a point which you want to understand more, ask questions. Whenever you are facing difficulties, ask questions, have dialogue, have some communication, and then you will learn more. And my friend, today's entire Western is based on the Pluto's philosophies. This question and answer round has given a new creativity, new innovation, and that is the power of any mentor and mentee relations. In line to this, I also found many Toastmasters in my community, in my favorite community, Toastmaster International. I met distinguished Toastmaster Arvind Nair. I hope everyone knows about him. I met distinguished Toastmaster Sai. I'm really very happy to see him here. I met DTM Vinod Sharma. All those helped me in a different way. One thing I followed the Pluto, let us say Socrates philosophy, asking question. Many times I asked so stupid question, but I asked. Let us hear an example. I had delivered one speech and I was very much confident. The word Tiny is tiny or teeny. Everyone was saying it's a teeny. Someone was saying tiny. And what was the answer? That I got from DTM Arvind Nair. Yes. Doesn't matter it's the pronunciation of a small word. Doesn't matter how to go ahead in the leadership. I met Colonel Uday Javalkar. He's also DTM in our District 125. I learned a lot from him about the leadership and the negotiation. The first thought which he told me, if there is any difficult conversation, always focus on one thing. I said, what, sir? Do you know that guy is so stupid, he never want to listen anything? And what was the answer? I am not telling you to say something, to tell him something. I am saying you have to listen. Just listen word by word what the message he wants to deliver it. And remove all the emotions. Might be you are agree, might be you are unagree. Doesn't matter. Just listen and then follow. And then you will find the magic happen. I said, okay, why not? I followed the same strategy in my one of the office meeting, which was always on a hot. But this time, magic really happened. There was no any emotion from my side. There is nothing. I was just cooled down. And the other guy, after some hot topics, he also calmed down. And yeah, definitely you have taken my all advice, my feedbacks, and you have considered it. That was the statement which I have received the first time from him. And I was all just thinking, hey, Colonel Uday, you are a magician. I don't know how you did, but you did it. And then I got not only the appreciation in that meeting, even he wrote down a very nice email to my senior manager. And they were also happy. Yes, this is the way how we have to work. I mean, that was not me. That was not my manager. That was not that guy who was creating problems. The main thing is here, Colonel Uday. He was playing from the both sides. He was able to understand why he is saying always the hot words. Why Jay is always showing the emotion. Once Jay show the emotion, the other one will hide. And then the fight starts. And he pull down. That's the way. How a leader helps others to go ahead. So I'm just a mentee here. And it was just a matter of time when Sukrat was on top, then Pluto was below. Then they turn the table and now the Pluto is on top and Sukrat is little down. Colonel Uday, Arvind Nayak, DTM Arvind Nayak, all are right now on top. Might be table turn again, and then later they will say, Jay is my best mentee. If you want something, go ahead with him. My friend, my message very crystal clear. If you discuss, if you have a dialogue, if you have question answers there, round with your mentor and mentee, only then the magic happen. It doesn't matter. Club will provide you a mentee or mentor. You never talk to him or her. This thing will never happen. If you are the part of this community, connect with him or her, and then let's see the magic happen. Just a matter of time. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster of the day. Thank you.
Well, a huge round of applause. Yes, you have really highlighted what this community is all about. And as a mentor, well, we all wear the dual mantle of mentor and mentee. But thank you. Yes, you can be your own mentor and your own mentee. Thank you for that wonderful message. And I now move on to my third speaker. My third speaker, of course, is Toastmaster Rupal, but I have Toastmaster Meenakshi Arya as her evaluator. Zoom Master, could you just highlight? Yes. Let me tell you, I haven't met Toastmaster Meenakshi. The very first time she came and visited my club was a month ago or 1.5 months ago. You know what struck me about her? I know for a fact that she's a doctor. And instead of mentioning her as a Toastmaster, I said Dr. Meenakshi. She was quick to correct me, saying that on the platform of Toastmasters, we are all Toastmasters. That gave me a deep insight into this person called Meenakshi, a warm, humble, welcoming, down to earth, and a person you would really like to meet and personally know her is what I came away with and felt, oh wow, wonderful. It's so nice to have Meenakshi as a Toastmaster. Meenakshi, Toastmaster Meenakshi, the stage is all yours. Take it up, take it over.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kalpana. So I'm here to evaluate the speech of Toastmaster Rupal, the speech title being Unlocking. She is attempting her level 3 in the pathway of dynamic leadership. And the purpose of this project is for the member to introduce and review basic presentation software strategies for creating and using slides to support or enhance a speech. And the purpose is also for the member to demonstrate his or her understanding of how to use presentation software, including the creation of slides and incorporating the technology into a speech. Back to you, Toastmaster Kalpana.
So much, Toastmaster Meenakshi, for that elaborate. I assume the speech timing is from 5 to 7.
Yes, that's right. She's asking to 5 to 7.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Toastmaster Meenakshi. And Toastmaster Shefali, could you kindly highlight our speaker number 3, Rupal? Rupal, would you be needing the PowerPoint presentation rights? You can ask our Zoom
Yes,
Master Shefali to give them to you. You have given it to them? All right. Rupal, could you just say I love rainbows?
I love rainbows.
All right. You are audible and visible. And yes, as you get the time, I request you to add the word of the day and the phrase of the day. try to inculcate. Believe me, we're all waiting to give you a thumbs up. Can you see the timer cards, Toastmaster Rupal?
Yes,
Are they
little
visible
bit
to
pink.
you? All right. It is blue. It is blue right now. Yeah. Shivani, could you just flip the cards? Yeah, it's green and red. Can you see them, Toastmaster
Yes,
Rupal?
it's
If you can't,
visible.
please pin them. Yeah,
Yes, it's visible.
fantastic. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rupal. Unlocking.
My
Unlock
screen sharing is visible.
Toastmaster Rupal.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. My presentation is visible.
Yes.
I hope, and my face is also visible simultaneously.
Yes, it is. You
Okay,
are wasting time. You should start, Rupal.
thank you. Good evening, Toastmaster, fellow Toastmaster, and guest. Negotiating your salary, it's a topic that always often make us uneasy. No matter how much we learn about it and read about it, there is always more to learn. How many of you feel unsure when discussing your salary with your potential employer? Raise your hand. Thank you. Today, I'll offer you some insight which I have learned through my experiences, and I hope you find that valuable. I break it down into three processes: knowing your current worth, market benchmarking, and sealing the deal. We all spend hours researching on the what we want to buy, whether we buy a new gadget or even a cloth. Do we put the same efforts while understanding our salary? It's just not a number which you are negotiating. It's a livelihood for a few years. Know your ABC. A here is your fixed salary. B is your retrial, that is a future benefit on retirement you'll get. And C is your variable pay or other benefits which you get from employer. All put together form your CTC, that is a cost to company. This is what your compensation structure. Knowing your pay slip is very essential because that is a crucial structure. You will find there is a layers into it. So this is a basic pay slip which includes basic salary, allowances, and other benefits and retrial benefit. All put together become your gross salary. What you take home is a net of tax and other deduction like professional tax and your contribution towards your provident fund. Once you have understood your pay structure, what you get, and how to know the benefit which are tangible and non-tangible like a medical insurance, other benefit
Rupal, we
or
can't hear you.
past employee, you can take the salary surveys or ask the alumni.
Yes. Rupal, we are
Now
unable
it's
to
audible.
hear you.
I do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So I just switch off my video
Okay.
so I'll get
All
my
right.
presentation on. So
ठीक है.
once you know your homework, once you do your homework, you will come to know about your range, what salary range you fall in. For instance, if you are targeting for a P3 level of your job role and your range is a minimum, medium, and maximum, if this is the range, this will be crucial to know where you fit into the range. Once you know about your range, it will be more you to give a strong foundation for a further negotiation. For example, if you get an offer from an employer for 18 lakhs, and you know the targeted salary range or market midpoint is a 15 for that salary role, then it means it indicates that your knowledge and experience is highly valued. But if you get the salary offer of 12 lakh, it means there is a indication that there is a potential for you to negotiate at least for the market benchmarking. There is a two type of benchmarking: internal company benchmarking and the external market benchmarking, which you need to negotiate and do your research before negotiating your salary. Once you are ready with your market benchmarking, now it is you have done your research, you have done your homework of what is your worth, now you are ready for negotiation. Remember, a deal can offer can only be sealed when you have a offer in your hand. You should have an offer at the fair market value market compensation, aiming at the market midpoint. Once you know that about, do not hesitate to state do not state your expectation at the beginning of your negotiation. Always wait what kind of offers you are getting. Be caution about the ESOPs and other variable pay, because they are may not be a they are great to have but may not always be guaranteed. Ask the clarifying questions, make a pointed question, make sure what you are negotiating. For example, you may ask, after joining, may I fall into the next performance? Can I get salary hike or in my routine salary base, so that your cycle of salary become higher to get a next negotiation. This kind of pointed question make you suitable for your what role you're asking. Be focused on your role, because your role make you more capable for what future you will get. Once you get know about this, there are certain tips which I would like to share with you. As you go into the negotiation, every process or stage, the employer become interested. So be enthusiastic, stay in touch, do not hesitate to say no, and never accept the offer on the spot. This is a following pointers which I want you to remember, and I want to conclude or take away with this, that it's all about understanding your worth and making an informed decision. And so next time when you find yourself into the negotiation, I will challenge you to be thorough as thorough as you when you buy your property or making your investment. For further queries, do connect with my LinkedIn or reach out to me a discovery call. Thank you, and over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rupal. May you can just stop your presentation. Could you just stop presenting, Toastmaster Rupal? Thank you so much. A huge round of applause. I think I never knew what was CTC. I also always failed when it came to negotiation skills. So that was a wonderful insight into how or what does CTC consist of. May I ask the timer, Shivani, to give me the timing report of all the three speakers? Shivani, may I request you? Thank you so much. You are on mute, Shivani. Could you just unmute yourself?
Thank you, Kalpana. Thank you so much, TM Kalpana, for this opportunity. All the speakers, congratulations. You all are qualified with your speech times. First of all, Toastmaster Akshita Air. Time taken was 5 minutes, 4 seconds. Second speaker, Jai Singh. Time taken by them was 7 minutes, 10 seconds. And third speaker, TM Rupal, time taken by her was 6 minutes, 30 seconds. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that report. The colors and hues are many. And one of the color that we are all going to look at is the color of humor. Does humor have color? I don't know about that. But humor does color our life, paint our life into throes of laughter. And that is why stand-up comedians are nothing but stress busters. But how do we become one? We who are Toastmasters, how do we write a humorous speech? How do we add humor? How do we add that little dollop, that little twist that can bring on a smile? We have among us today an expert called Sai Ramchandran. Zoom Master, may I ask you to highlight our educator of the day, Sai Ramchandran? Thank you so much, Sai. You actually bring on a smile on my face. So that itself tells me how much I'm waiting for you to take this session and bring us towards the learning of how to add those nice little words and lines to make our lines or make our speech humorous. Let me introduce this person, Sai, who is in front of us. He has actually helped charter 2 Toastmasters Club. What a wonderful feat. And BKC Fireflies and All Elite Advanced Toastmasters Club are the two that he has actually helped charter. He has reached the district finals and evaluations. Please give him a big round of applause for that. It's really an uphill task, and has completed at the division level in HSC, that is Humorous Speech Contest, and also at ISC, that is International Speech Contest. What a feat. All the three fields and all-rounder we have among us today. By profession, he is a software engineer. By training, and a keynote speaker and comedian by choice. So here is an engineer, here is a trainer, and here is a comedian. Let's welcome this package of a rainbow colored entity to this program of ours. The virtual stage is yours, Sai. Take us through the ride of joy.
Thank you so much, Kalpana. And I don't know if I'm all these things, but what I am right now is responsible for taking 40 minutes of your time to help you understand let me do this trick. Let me see if it works. The elements of humor. Where am I? I'm still here. So I'm not going to use a presentation. I don't like presentations. I like to be in center stage. I like to be in front of people. So I don't want to use a presentation. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stick this. Oh, wait. Yeah, I'm going to stick this little thing in front of the camera, and you'll see what the background says, and you can keep remembering what it says and keep going on. That way you get to see more of me. If you don't like it, look away. Anyway, so before we do anything else, there are 21 of us. Let's take first of all, can I please ask everyone to turn on their videos? Because what happens in comedy is that it's really, really hard to speak to a blank screen. I can see Meenakshi, I can see Sumit, I can see Rupal, I can see Akshata's video coming on. Thank you so much, Dhruv. Shivani's videos on. Wait, Zoom Master, people whose videos are off, can you boot them out of the room? We don't need them in the room anymore, do we? They don't like jokes. They don't tell jokes. They're going to oh, Shubhashini's videos coming on. Thank you, everyone. No, don't actually put them out because they want to be here. They want to be part of this meeting. So what we're going to do today, 40 minutes. And timer, please tell me after, let's call it at the 30th minute, the 35th minute, and the 40th minute. If you could tell me, show me the green, yellow, and red, that'll be perfect. And I'll try to wind up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to make the session entirely interactive, not just have an interactive activity at the end. We'll make the entire thing interactive. So please keep your joke hats on and keep your funny bone in the ready so that we can make jokes together. Now, the first question I want to ask is, how many in this room believe that humor is innate, that you cannot be taught how to be funny? And that's going to be a lot of us. I see Meenakshi putting up her hand. I see Rupal putting up her hand. I see Shefali putting up her hand. What about the rest? You guys are on the fence? Or are you, Shivani's hand is up as well. So are you guys on the fence? Are you willing to learn? Or are you saying, you know what, I don't know the answer. I don't care what the answer is. Let me ask Dhruv. He looks interested in talking to me. I get that vibe from Dhruv.
Actually, I missed the question. That's why I didn't raise.
All right. So the question is, how many in the room believe that humor cannot be taught? It cannot be something that you can learn from listening to other people. How to be funny?
No, I think we can.
Okay, so you put up your hand. If you knew the question, you'd put up your hand. What about Akshata? What do you think? Akshata Ahir.
It can be taught. It's a science, and I'm very ready to learn.
All
right. Yeah.
Anand, what's your opinion on this?
Likewise, I think it's a skill and it can be learnable.
All right. So people believe, at least the 3 people I spoke to believe they can be taught. I think Shivani wants to add something. Yes, Shivani.
Yes. So my intention was to tell humor comes from inside. You can teach some tactics and you can tell how we can bring it in our speech.
All right. So that you believe that humor is innate. You can teach once you have something innate, you can teach the method to get to the funny things. But if you don't have it inside you, they just can't be funny. Okay, I take your point. Meenakshi, what about you? Are you saying something similar?
Yeah, I mean, either you have the funny bone or you don't have it. So I don't have one. It's like people have two left feet. So no matter what good teacher they have, they don't learn. So I feel either you have it or you don't have it.
All right. So I think I would say the room is roughly evenly split. I think the people who don't have their videos on, we're going to let them go for some time. We're not going to bother them with asking question stuff. We're going to assume that the room is roughly evenly split between people who believe that humor can be taught and people who believe that humor is innate. And there's no way, if you don't have a funny bone, you can tickle somebody with it. There's no way you can do it. That's what a few of us believe. Now, my goal is that in these 40 minutes, I'll at least make you believe that you've made a joke. If at the end of 40 minutes, you feel you have constructed a joke in your head or you've shared that joke with us, I think I've done my job. Would that be a fair statement, Meenakshi and Shivani? If I've made you feel that you made a joke, and Meenakshi, you have Sumit right there. You can turn around and tell him a joke. Let's see what he says. All right. Cool. So that's my challenge to myself. And at the end of it, I'm going to ask you guys. I'm going to ask Meenakshi. I'm going to ask Shivani, and maybe I'll ask Anand as well, because he said it can be taught. The proof of pudding is if Anand is willing to learn and I'm not able to teach him how to be funny, that means I've not done my job. So 3 people are going to give me my thumbs up. Yes, I've done my job as the trainer for tonight, or I've not done my job. 3 people. 2 of them are people who believe I'm rubbish, I'm useless. And 1 person who believes that, yes, I might have some value, but am I the right teacher for him or not? That's what we're going to check. All right. So let me start off with a joke, okay? And this is a joke that I use in my own open mic sometimes. My wife and I, we met because of the internet. She was my geofiber installer. Man, this crowd, I see 2 people. There are 3 people smiling, 4 people smiling. All right. This is a tough crowd, guys. You guys hate me, or you guys love your afternoons too much to laugh at this joke. All right. So let me tell you what the joke was. Let me break it down to you why this was funny. Or at least a more receptive audience laughs more on this joke than this one did. But I'm going to assume that this audience was still getting warmed up to me. So that's why they were not able to laugh at my joke. So the joke was, my wife and I met because of the internet. And when I say that, I can see Shefali must be in her 20s. I'm going to assume that Shefali knows exactly what I'm talking about. Internet, man and woman, it has to be dating, it has to be Tinder, it has to be Bumble, it has to be, I don't know, Grindr if you're a gay man, or any of those websites. It has to be one of those, right? Shefali, give me a thumbs up if you think I said, if that's where your mind went. All right, let me ask Dhruv. He looks like a young guy as well. Is that where your mind went, Dhruv?
Yes. I thought it was Bumble or something.
Bumble. Okay, so Shefali, I'm not going to play matchmaker, but people.
No. I didn't know that. I thought like at your time, was there geofiber?
What is that supposed to mean? What is that supposed to mean? Wait. You shouldn't go to the punchline yet. We're still discussing the setup. We're still discussing. Forget about geofiber when it is there or not. Nobody cares. We haven't reached there yet.
That was my thought too.
Kalpana, be quiet. Nobody needs your inputs on my jokes. Be quiet. All right. So for the people, Suhashini, please. What are you saying?
I thought Shadi.com.
Oh my God. No. Okay. That's fair. Dating websites, matrimonial websites, that's usually where the mind would go if you were to hear this setup. My wife and I met because of the internet, right? And before I do that, the men in the group seem to like Bumble. Dhruv is on Bumble. Shefali, unless you're both you and Dhruv, unless you guys are married, I think what is your dating website of choice? What is the name that you were thinking of, Shefali?
Sorry, I didn't catch that question. Please say.
When I said my wife and I met because of the internet, which dating website did you think of? Or did you think of any at all?
No, I didn't think of any at all.
All right. So for the women who want to be on dating websites, all the men seem to be on Bumble. So Dhruv, thank you for taking one for the team and sharing where all the men hang out, so all the women can go hang out there as well. Anyway, so the point of the joke is that there's a setup, and the setup was my wife and I met because of the internet, and a lot of us, our mind went in a certain way. We thought about dating websites, we thought about dating apps, we thought about matrimonial websites, we thought about those kind of things. But then there was a sudden turn, and I said, she was my geofiber installer, which is completely unexpected, right? You would not expect to hear that as the actual reason why my wife and I got married. that I moved to a new city, I ordered the internet, and she came to my house to install the internet, and we fell in love and we got married to each other. You would not expect that. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the crux of humor. If you can introduce a certain element of surprise in a speech, or while setting up your climax, or any of those things, you are on your way to being funny. And this, if you get disconnected right now and your GeoFiber installer has not done a good job with your installation and you can't come back into the meeting, please remember that the element of surprise, where you are pushing the audience to think a certain way, but then you make them go in a completely different direction, is what makes things funny. All right. Next, what you're going to do, you're going to add a little more detail, a little more granularity to this idea that surprises are what make things funny. But before I do that, I want to actually maybe try an activity with you guys, because you guys seem to be an engaged audience. I see Subin has turned on his camera. I guess he wants to be a part of the joke making as well. So let's have a setup statement like this. Let's pick something. Okay, we as a group, we're going to pick a setup statement, something which says something like, let's see, 2 left feet. Like, let's take Meenakshi's statement about herself. She said, I am born with 2 left feet. Okay. Does anybody have a way of changing that to make it funny? For example, what can you do to 2 left feet? For a person with 2 left feet cannot dance, right? A person with 2 left feet could also be a person with a biological defect, right? So how would you turn that? If Meenakshi would come, Meenakshi were making a joke and she would say, I was born with 2 left feet. Where could you go with that? Any ideas on where you could take that setup?
I still support the rightist movement.
I still support the right. Sumit, please go ahead.
Yeah, so how I would continue with that joke is, thank God I married Sumit. He was born with 2 right.
You're right. Fair enough. If you're at a wedding, if you're at an anniversary party between the 2 of you, and Meenakshi is responsible for introducing Sumit or whatever, there's a moment when Meenakshi is allowed to speak to the audience, and she makes a joke like that I was born with 2 left feet, but I'm so glad I got married to Sumit because of his army training. He's born with 2 right feet, so together we make a perfect couple. That makes it's a reasonable joke. It's a reasonable thing to say. It's a sweet thing to say. It can be made funny if you keep adding to it, and there's more and more events when Sumit and Meenakshi. By the way, people don't know they're married to each other, so that's the story. That's why I'm putting them together. Give me one quick second. My son needs my attention for some reason. Give me one quick. All right, I'm back. So that could be a sweet thing. It could be when you say 2 left feet, 2 right feet combined. We've been married 25 years, and hence it's become a successful marriage because we are complementary to each other. That's perfect. That's a good start. So Meenakshi, I've made half my point with you, that you can be funny. It doesn't have to be super funny. It can be funny. All right. So that as an activity, keep thinking of stuff like this, that if you set something up like, I hate making tea, and then you change it to something and you add a twist to it, and when you go in a certain direction with it, and you go in a completely opposite direction with it, that makes it funny. Okay. So that is the first step. Remember that surprises are what makes things funny. All right. Let me quickly change the background before I do anything else, so that we know what we're going to cover next. All right. Oh, can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
All right. So the first thing we're going to do for the next few minutes is discuss the upcoming contest, because without that, this entire thing is useless. Why the hell would you learn how to be funny if this was not for a reason, right? After that, we are going to discuss the reasons why being funny matters. All right. And then we're going to discuss the nuances, the details, the ABCs of funny. That's called the Sierra SC. I'll tell you what it is later. And finally, we'll do an activity, a formal activity where you can go ahead and make a joke with me. So back to the reasons why being funny or learning how to be funny matters to us. So the Speakers Community Toastmasters Club, just like every other club in District 98, will be organizing a humorous speech contest coming up soon. And when it does, it behooves us to participate as members of this club. And when you're participating as members of this club, you will be expected to make at least a few jokes or make your speech a little bit funny while delivering that joke. But the Toastmasters ethos is that you cannot just have a speech which goes on and on and on, is all punchline after punchline after punchline, because that's not how Toastmasters works. your speech will have to have a message. Your speech will have to have a reason why it is being delivered to the audience. That what's in it for me, that question that we ask each other all the time, that still has to be there when it comes to your humorous speech contest. The speech duration is 5 to 7 minutes. You don't have any qualifiers, any reasons, any levels that you have to complete before you can participate in the humorous speech contest. But at a minimum, your speech will have to be 5 to 7 minutes long, and you would have to be a member in good standing in order to participate in the humorous speech contest. That's all it takes. If you've paid up your dues to your club and you have a speech ready, you can tell your vice president of education or the contest chair and that you want to participate, and that's it. You're done. You're all set. But remember that a humorous speech contest also has a message. Even the funniest and most rip-roaring speech you'll hear in Toastmasters will leave you with something to go back home with and ponder on. And that is what I'm going to remind you to do. That don't think that humorous speech contest implies that the need for humor or the need for a message is not there. I made that mistake during my humorous speech contest. I made a speech about mosquitoes. You can't have a message when it comes to mosquitoes. You just cannot. It's just impossible to tell people and you leave them with a lasting message when it comes to a speech about mosquitoes. It's not possible. So when you're giving a speech, whenever you're planning your speech, make sure that you have something to hold on to, that the audience can hold on to and say, this is what he was saying. I laughed a lot, but at the end of it, I was left with a message. So 5 to 7 minutes, message, member in good standing. And that's it. I've covered the first bullet point in the agenda. I'm not going to talk about the humorous speech contest and the dates and all those boring things because your vice president of education is responsible for that. I'm not. They will be telling you everything you need to know about the contest at Speakers Community Toastmasters Club, right? The next thing we want to discuss, again, very quickly, is the reason why being funny matters. And this, again, I'm going to open it back to the audience. Why do you think being funny matters? Let's start with Akshata this time. Akshata, letter A. So we're going to start with you.
I guess it makes moments lighter, and that's very important. Yeah.
You're getting close to what I believe is the reason for being funny. Let's take Subin. He turned on his camera for us. Let's ask Subin what he thinks.
Yeah, it makes us laugh, and we can relate more to the content, and those will have some lasting impressions.
Oh man, you guys are doing my training for me. I'm all set. I'm good. Good job, Subin. Good job, Akshata. Yes, Dhruv, please go ahead.
When we make a joke, it makes the other person relax, and by which we can convey a message more easily.
Fair enough. And I think together, the three of you have basically covered the reasons why being funny matters. Let me go with the first one. The first thing that we see in Toastmasters, if you attend any Toastmasters meeting, if you attend a week of Toastmasters meetings, you'll hear it sometime or the other. And that one phrase is going to be that evaluations are the breakfast of champions. Do we not say that? Do you not hear that? But no, that's not what I'm going to leave you with. What you actually, another thing you hear at Toastmasters, and which is one of the reasons why being funny matters, is that people don't remember what you say. People remember how you make them feel, right? And this goes back to what Subin and Dhruv were saying, that when you make a joke, when you're being funny, when you entertain people, you're giving them a feeling which is far more long-lasting than doom and gloom and sadness and depressing thoughts. Or even, I've heard Sumit speak. His speeches are powerful. You feel like you can go out and fight a war after that, but that feeling dissipates. I'm honest, Sumit. I mean, you know how it is. Your speeches, that moment I want to run out and do things and do big things. But after a week, I'm like, oh yeah, that was a good speech, but I'm not going to have that same energy again. But humor is not like that. Humor, you remember for days and months, and if the jokes are especially funny, you're going to tell your friends about it, you're going to tell your wife about it, and your spouse about it, and both of you are going to be like, haha, that is good fun, that is funny, and stuff like that. So that's one very, very, very important reason why even the most serious speeches, for example, stuff that wins championships at the World Championship of Public Speaking, they tend to have some element of humor or the other, because it leavens the moment. It uplifts people when they're in the room, they're in an audience, and they're sharing a joke with the speaker because they're both on the same wavelength. And when it comes to, let me ask you this: when somebody gives a very inspiring speech, there is no visual indication from the audience that they have heard your speech and they've understood your speech and they're feeling inspired. At the most, you'll have, that's pretty much all you'll get. Like all the most inspiring speeches, I mean, unless you're at Hitler's level or something, and people are like showing you the Hitler salute, and they're all like up there, ready to go and fight wars for you. That's nobody does that anymore. That's crazy stuff, right? And Hitler is not a good person, so you should not even aspire to be like Hitler. So let's come back to what we can actually see from the audience when you're giving a speech. No response. At the most, they'll talk a little less. They'll be a little more pensive at the end of the speech. But humor is not like that. Humor has that element of response. And when you have somebody saying something and the audience responds to you, and others respond along with you to the speaker, you're forming a unit between the speaker and the audience, right? And that is another element of why humor matters. One is the experience that you have as the listener, and the second is that the relationship you form with the speaker is another thing that humor brings to the table, that other forms of speech making, other forms of let me not call forms, other moods of content don't have that responsiveness, the visual responsiveness, and that group feeling that you get. Because if I listen to an inspiring speech, I have to go ask somebody else, did you feel inspired the same way? And they're like, nah, I wasn't paying attention, man. I'm sorry. That part I sort of ignored. But when somebody's laughing, they're laughing. And you just, yeah, we laughed together. We had a fun time. We enjoyed it. You know exactly what the audience is thinking. That's the second thing that why humor matters. And the third thing, which I didn't hear anyone say, but I'm sure each one of us understands instinctively, is that humor is an alternative way of looking at the world. Please remember this, that when you're making a point and you can explain that point with humor, you're telling the world to think a certain way, a way which is slightly different. That surprise, you're introducing surprise into their mind flow. You're making them think in a slightly different way from what they're used to. Let's take an example of my joke. I said, my wife, I met her because she works with Geofiber. I'm guaranteeing you, I've said this joke dozens of times, not one person would have expected that punchline in my audience. And that is actually a problem, because as a country, we're not a country where people of different socioeconomic strata meet with each other and marry each other. And that's the truth. I know politics is not really the why I'm talking, but you have to realize that when I made a joke that I married my Geofiber installer, there was an element of shock in people's minds. Maybe not your mind, because you're more open-minded than others, but a lot of people like, what? Your Geofiber installer? Is he serious? I would never marry my Geofiber installer. That guy looks weird. Would you not agree with that? So when I introduced that joke, when I said I married my Geofiber installer, I shocked you. I showed you a different way of living life, where I'm in Toastmasters, you're in Toastmasters. We are technically peers. Financially, you're gonna assume that this person's financially, economically, career-wise, I hate to say this, caste, creed, all those ways, they're similar to me. Maybe not exactly the same, maybe a little more wealthy, a little less wealthy, but we're all the same. And if this guy can marry his Geofiber installer, what's stopping me from doing that? That thought that you had all those thoughts, and you can deny it now if you want, but the truth is those things would have come to your mind. Why is he saying he married his Geofiber installer? Is he really saying that? Or is that a joke? That is what humor is doing. It's introducing a slightly different take on life. Let's take an example, another political example, extremely political example, which I'm going to bring to the table today. Before the 2024 elections, Rahul Gandhi was called Pappu. True? And that was a simplification of the message that the BJP people wanted us to have about Rahul Gandhi. He's an idiot. He can be taken lightly. He's not a serious person. Pappu was an amalgamation of all that and put in front of us, and we sort of agreed with it. It makes sense. We didn't take him seriously, and this is not a political speech. Please don't take it that I'm saying that you should be taking things differently or something. I'm giving examples of how humor and an alternative interpretation of life is being presented to you, and you're accepting it. You're accepting that somebody like Rahul Gandhi can be called Pappu, because in your mind, what Pappu means and what Rahul Gandhi represented 10 years ago are the same. Correct? Today, that has changed. After the 2024 elections, even the BJP people are saying that, oh no, he's the Shatir Khiladi. If you look at the most recent discussions about Rahul Gandhi, they're calling him a Shatir Khiladi and a very, very savvy political operator and all those things. In a month, nobody can go from being a Pappu to being a Shatir Khiladi, right? But that Pappu, Shatir Khiladi, all those things are a name being given to a way of thought. And humor does that. Humor lets you name things the way you want to name things. It lets you challenge the status quo. It lets you challenge the narrative that is built up in your audience's mind. Like I challenge the narrative of, can somebody like me marry a GeoFiber installer? I challenge the narrative and I made the joke. Same way, you'll be doing the same thing when you make jokes. You'll be challenging narratives in people's heads. And when you do that, you've achieved something. Even if you don't win the contest is only secondary. The point is your message should get across to the audience. And you'll be doing that through the use of humor. All right. So those are the three reasons why humor matters. One, to leave the audience with a sentiment. Two, to form a really tight bond between the speaker and the audience, so that, and tight and real-time bond with the speaker and the audience. Because if you know that this person's funny and makes you laugh, you'll go back and listen to them again. People watch Jon Stewart and John Oliver way, way, way more than they would watch anybody like Ravish Kumar. I mean, I subscribe to both, but given a choice, if I'm in a certain mood, given a choice, I'd rather watch Jon Stewart because he's funny, or John Oliver. I'd watch either one of them rather than Ravish Kumar, because Ravish Kumar is he makes very, 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 very valid points. He explains the way things are in a way I can understand, but it's also very serious. Jon Stewart and John Oliver are doing the same thing. They're talking political, day-to-day, everyday stuff, but they're doing it with a little touch of humor. And the outcome is that let's say me, I'd prefer to listen to somebody funny than somebody serious, though the content is roughly the same. And that is what the power of humor is. It lets an audience abide by you, stick with you, while giving them a nice feeling at the end of it. Okay, so those are the two things that we've discussed. I know it's been a little bit of a lecture. Let's move on to the elements, the ABCs of humor, so that we can actually get back to some activities and get back to making some jokes. Is that fair? Can I get a thumbs up? So yeah. Oh, that's 2 thumbs up. Thanks, Drew. You're like really enthusiastic about this. That's nice. Thank you so much. All right, so let's get to the. Oops, this is not working. Why is it not working? Let's try it again. Right, the Sierra AC, right? Sierra SC of humor. Now, before I do anything, I should always make sure that I credit my sources. Unless I tell you a joke is mine, that joke is not mine. Please don't assume that any of the jokes I tell you today or any of the content I share with you today is mine, unless I'm saying it. If I'm saying it is mine, otherwise it's not mine, do not challenge the veracity and authenticity of my jokes, assuming they're mine. They're not mine, unless I'm telling you that, okay? And the second thing I want to tell you is that Sierra's SC is also not my work. There is a person called James Corley on the internet, who does a lot of work on explaining and breaking down jokes. He's called the Joke Doctor. He's very good at what he does. And it was his work that I'm building on top of. He used a slightly different acronym and a slightly different way of explaining the same concept, but the ideas are the same. It is his ideas that I'm trying to explain to the audience here, because I know what you need, and I'm able to bridge the gap between the two of them. So please don't believe that any of the stuff is completely original. Great mind. What is that statement? Small minds plagiarize, great minds get inspired, or something like that, or something, whatever, the other way. But that's how it is. I'm getting inspired by the people who've done this, who've been on this journey before me. So Sierra's is SC. So what is the first S of Sierra's? These are the ABCs of humor, right? So let's go with Sierra's, the S. It's the element of surprise. We already discussed that. I've shown an example of that. We've even trialed a joke based on Meenakshi and Sumit's life, based on the element of surprise, right? So we don't need to discuss that anymore. The second example of, second building block of humor is incongruity, right? That's the I of Sierra's. What is incongruity? Now, let's take an example of, have you heard this? Have you guys heard this phrase that you should not judge a book by its cover? Now, let me ask you, do you think the books in your bookshelf feel the same way about you? Are they judging you for the kind of books you have in your bookshelf? Rupal, you can't be making notes about this. Let me ask you, do you think the books in your bookshelf are judging you for the kind of books you have?
No, it's not judging me, but maybe building my character indirectly in a subtle way.
No, I'm talking about the books. Your character is your character.
No, books are not judging me.
All right. So,
but because I'm buying that for my interest.
All right. So do you feel slightly, threatened if Meenakshi, I'll come to you in a second. Do you feel slightly threatened if you had to buy a book which said something like, what's your profession? You sound like you're in HR.
No, I'm in accounts and finance, and I've read the book negotiation which has been like one of the lecture you have said about that.
Did you like it?
Yeah.
It's a great
I've read
book.
certain strategies.
Yeah, they're great
And I
books.
got influenced by that.
So let me ask you this: what if you had to buy a book called Idiots, Accounting for Idiots? Would you buy that book?
Maybe not because I know that, but I maybe buy for explaining to the non-financial what is the finance.
But if you were an advanced financial professional and somebody offered you a book which sounded like you didn't know what you're saying, though the content is absolutely works and there's nothing wrong with the content, but the title of the book was Accounting for Idiots, would you still buy that book?
Maybe not, but
So,
but I always respect the person who is giving.
right. So now what I'm doing here is I'm showing you incongruity between I'm taking human emotions, I'm taking human things and putting it in places where they don't fit in. Meenakshi, I know I need to come back to you. Give me 1 second, okay? I'm picking up things like, being judged. I'm picking up things like, don't judge a book by its cover. And I'm putting it on places and things which don't really have those kind of feelings. Books don't think anything about us. Books don't have any thoughts, real salient thoughts or anything like that, right? So that's incongruity. So if you, in your speech making, have some example of, say, you're making a speech about valor, okay, and then you completely change that. I'm saying I'm going to make a speech about being brave. I was bullied as a kid, and I came out of it because I was a brave person. And then you say, what if that valor were transposed from me to, say, a mouse or an animal or a pet? Would there be any humor? Can you explore any humor there? That is what the incongruity is. You're picking up something that is true to you, familiar to us as people, and putting it in a place, in an incongruous place where you'd not expect to hear those questions asked. Yes, Meenakshi, you were saying?
Yeah, so I mean, I think the books in our library also judge us depending on what is the content that they are reading. I definitely feel that they would have some kind of a conversation going around with them that, she buys books on technology and then she buys books on fiction. And it's kind of confusing for us. We don't know what is her forte. So I'm sure, like, although they are non-living things, but there would be some kind of conversation going on there as well. Identifying me as a person that I am. Yeah.
So they are judging you, and you can make a really nice speech about this. If you were to go back to your drawing board and want to write a speech in the humorous speech contest, and you say, okay, you know what, and I'm just going to spitball a speech with you. Like, I was writing a book. I'm sorry, I was about to meet Sumit 25 years ago. I was about to meet Sumit, and it was the first date, and he was going to come to my house to see me, and I had all these books. And I know Sumit is not a judgmental person, and has got to thinking, what about my books? Are they judging me? Should I have a different collection of books, or should I showcase more books and hide a few more books so that both Sumit and my bookcase respect me more? You can make a speech about that, right? And that is incongruity. You are bringing up stuff that you know about yourself, and you're asking the question about something else. That's incongruity in action. Okay. So are we understanding incongruity? What you feel juxtaposed onto something which does not feel those things, and ask that question. How will that respond to the question that you're asking yourself? That's incongruity. Now let's move on to the third letter of the Sierra's SC, embarrassment. And before I do that, let me tell you a little bit of a joke, okay? So I am in my mid-40s, and I've decided to become a stand-up comedian. And a few days ago, I had to do an open mic at a distant place, and I was coming back home at 11 at night. And when I was coming back home, I had a choice between taking the public bus, or either walking home, taking the public bus, or taking Rapido, which is a bike service. Does everybody know what Rapido is? Right. It's a bike service, essentially Uber for bikes. It's like that. So I had to decide that. So when I was, and I'd never done a Rapido bike. Oh, my screen has turned green. Oh, that, never mind. So yeah, I was supposed to take a Rapido. And I'd never done Rapido ride before. I'm in my mid-40s. And the last time I took rode a bike was with my college friends. And when we used to ride bikes in college, we never had any distance between the person riding the bike and the person sitting pillion. We used to sit close to each other, and my chin used to be on the rider's shoulder, and we used to keep talking. But now that I'm taking a Rapido, what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to sit like that with the rider? That'd be awkward, right? If I'm sitting so close to the bike, to some stranger, I'm cuddling up with him, and at 11 o'clock at night, he's going to think that I am molesting him. And what if it goes the other way around? He actually likes it, and he cuddles back with me. Then what am I supposed to do, right? If I'm moving close to him and he moves back to be close to me, I'm a married man, and this is 11 at night. This is going to be a really, really awkward situation. Now, when I'm telling you the story, and now back to the explanation of why this was funny to some people, I saw Shefali laughing, I saw Dhruv laughing. I guess these guys have taken Rapido, so they know exactly what's going on. So when I was telling you the story, I was feeling embarrassed because I had these questions in my head. How do I take a Rapido ride? Should I sit close to the guy? Should I sit far from the guy? Should I put my hands on his shoulder, or should I not even touch him? Should I hold the rack of the bike instead of holding on to the rider? Those questions were going on in my mind. I was being embarrassed. I was feeling embarrassed about myself because I'm a 45-year-old man at 11 o'clock at night, not able to take a bike ride because I don't know how it's going to be received by the rider, because I'm so confused about what to do. I'm embarrassed, and you are embarrassed alongside me. You are thinking those thoughts too. You must have had the same thoughts when you took your Rapido ride. You must have had the same thoughts when you sat in an Uber for the first time. Should I be sitting in front with the driver? I don't want him to think I think of him as my servant. I should sit next to him. Oh no, I can't sit next to him. I'm a woman. If I sit next to him, maybe I'm giving him ideas. I'll sit at the back. Now, if I sit at the back, should I put my seatbelt? Oh man, seatbelt, India, nobody puts seatbelts. So those thoughts are coming to your head too. And that's embarrassment. You and I are feeling embarrassed at the same time. And when you feel embarrassed, you're like, my embarrassment is not mine alone. The speaker has felt those embarrassments too. And others are laughing. So they felt the embarrassment too. So we're all in it together. We're all human beings. We're all normal people to feel embarrassed about these things, to ask these questions. Like I tell you, this is really a problem. I don't know how many 45-year-olds go out and take Rapido rides at 11 o'clock at night, but I'm guaranteeing you it's not, some non-zero number of them feel embarrassed about taking Rapido because they don't know what to do on a bike. And many of us are taking Ubers and Olas and having the same thoughts. Should I be sitting next to the driver? Should I be sitting behind the driver? Should I put the seatbelt? Should I make small talk with the driver? Is he my friend, or is he just somebody giving me a ride? Am I supposed to be nice to him or her? That embarrassment that you keep talking, that we talk about, that we bring out, can be humor. Okay, so that please remember that not all humor is set up and punchline. It's some humor is just descriptions of your inner monologue, the thoughts going on in your head. And then you're like, oh yeah, we all feel embarrassed the same way. We're all good. We're all the same people, right? Let's move quickly because the green has come on. The SIERR. So let's do the first R is release. Now, release is when you talk about something that is usually a very serious topic, and then you talk about it for the first time and you make a slight joke about it. And because it's a serious topic, and because you're making an unexpected joke about something very serious, the audience feels a sense of, now we can joke about these things, right? Let me give you an example of release. And this has happened to us. And I'm telling you, you might not experience it yourself, but if you looked around, you'd see this. Since 2014 until 2024, nobody used to make jokes about Narendra Modi. Again, not political. This is just an example, an explanation of what release means. But let me tell you a joke about the elections. You know, the elections were great because we learned a new type of math where 400 equals 240. Right? This joke would not have, you would not have made this joke 6 months ago. 6 months ago, if you made the joke, you'd be like, oh man, I think I'm going to, some guy is going to come and beat me up if I make a joke about Narendra Modi. Let me just not make the joke at all. That sense of release we felt. And many people after the elections were feeling that ability to make those jokes about political jokes and jokes about Narendra Modi because they felt a sense of sense of release. And if you did that, that opened up the floodgates for more people to make jokes about the political system. And not just Narendra Modi, make jokes about Mamata Banerjee and Rahul Gandhi and everybody. The ecosystem of jokes has opened up in India after the elections because we felt a sense of relief. And one person made a Narendra Modi joke, and then everybody's like making jokes about politicians, and we're not scared of them anymore. Let me give you another example of release. When the Pope died a few years ago, the Pope John Paul II, when he died about a few decades ago, he was an important person for Catholics. A lot of Catholics believe that the Pope is a representative of God on earth. So they felt really upset about the fact that he died. But some person made a joke about that when the Pope died, a lot of people prayed that he be delivered to heaven, so that he be given a safe passage to heaven. And the joke is that if the Pope, being a representative of God on earth, has to have so many people praying for them so that he can go to heaven, do we have a chance? Like, what chances do we have of going to heaven? If the Pope needs people to pray for him, we have zero chance. Now, that joke was release. It opened up it took a moment of seriousness, added some levity to it, and let people see that as in a lighthearted way. That's the first R of Sierra's. Okay. Oh man, recognition. So the second R is recognition. What is recognition? Recognition happens when you recognize something that is true for you in something else. Now, when I was giving the same spiel, the same education session at a different club, Jamie Kumar from that club talked about how when she turns on the light in her kitchen, she sees cockroaches disappearing. There'll be this bunch of cockroaches in the middle of the room, and as soon as you turn on the light, they all disappear. They all go to their separate ways. If you recognize it as a bunch of criminals gathering together in a place, and if you turn on the spotlight and then the criminals all disappear, they are analogous situations. You're recognizing the actions of cockroaches and seeing something similar that you would see in your own life. Because if you had a gang of criminals and the police came in, they'd all disappear like cockroaches, correct? Now that recognition can also be a form of humor. If you recognize, and these are slightly more advanced things, advanced topics of humor, it might be a little hard to find, but the fact still remains that when you recognize something is happening and you are able to find a parallel for that in your daily life, that forms a type of humor. Now I'm going to take a quick break because I think a lot of people are getting a little overwhelming, I feel. Let's take a break. What are you guys thinking about the session so far? So what are let's go over the letters, the SIERR, that we've discussed so far. What's the first S? What's the S? Let's take Shivani. What's the S?
It was surprise.
Right, perfect. Subin, what's the E?
Embarrassment.
Perfect. Kalpana, you've been following along. What's the I?
I think I have lost.
Incongruity.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So the first R, either one you can take. Shivani, what about you? Not Shivani, Shifali. One of the R's.
Release.
Release. Okay. And Sumit, one of the second R.
Recognition.
Recognition. Perfect. Thank you so much, everyone. Let's keep moving on. And we don't have, it's still green. So the last three elements of humor are ambiguity, then superiority, and configurational. Let's go backwards. I think the configuration is the most fun. So let's go backwards. Let's call it CSA, okay? Now, let me tell you a joke. And again, it's not original. What happens when an escalator breaks? Nobody's answering that. People, okay, Dhruv, what happens when an escalator breaks?
Elevators will get crowded.
All right, true. If you're Indian, yeah, for sure. Nobody wants to take the stairs in India anymore. Everybody wants the elevator or the escalator. So what happens when the escalator breaks?
People will be afraid, claustrophobic.
All right.
Feel hard to breathe. Less amount.
Are you thinking about elevators or are you thinking about escalators? I'm talking about escalators.
Oh, sorry. I'm thinking about elevators. Sorry.
I get claustrophobic too in elevators, so you're not alone in that. But escalators, when they break, what happens? They become stairs. Is that not true?
And then you find a woman staring at you. What stare? Did you think STAI stare or STARE stare?
Fair enough. We'll go with that. Now, escalators. So this was a style of comedy that was pioneered by somebody called Mitch Hedberg. He used to make all these jokes where you had to know how the world works for them to be funny, right? Let's take another example of his jokes, which was, and his joke, the way I asked it was not how he used to tell the joke. He used to say, you know the thing about escalators when they break, what happens when you, what sign do you put up when escalators break? Convenience regretted. Escalators now stairs. That's what you'd say. Normally, when you imagine a sign, it says inconvenience regretted. But when he was telling the joke, it'd be convenience regretted. Escalators are now stairs. And then you'd be like, oh yeah, it makes sense. When the escalators stop working, they're essentially stairs. And when something is not working, you put up a sign called convenience regretted. Because it's not an inconvenience, it's still convenient. You still walk up the stairs, right? So that was his style of humor. He used to look at the world the way it was and figure out an alternative interpretation of that. Another one of his jokes was rice is something that you would love to eat if you wanted to have 2,000 of them. When you want something to eat, You usually have one of them, two of them, five of them. But 2,000, only rice can be had like that. You need to know this, how people eat rice for this joke to be slightly funny. Like, huh, that's funny because it's something you'd not think yourself. That is configurational humor. Okay. Now let's go to the S. It was Sierra's SC, right? So the S stands for superiority. We had embarrassment, where we both share a moment of embarrassment with each other, the speaker and the audience. Superiority is the opposite. When you put yourself down and the audience looks at it and says, I would never do something like that. I am too good for that. And that makes it funny. That is superiority in action. Like in Indian comedy is replete with that kind of stuff. Like there's always in every movie, there's some guy who's the butt of the hero's jokes. He's a buffoon. He's the kind of person you can laugh at without consequence. I don't personally like it, but at least that kind of humor I don't particularly like. But that's how Indian comedy, a lot of Indian comedy works like that. There's this buffoon that you're laughing at and feeling superior to, and that makes it funny, right? And last is ambiguity. And this is a little bit hard for me to even come up with an example. If something is ambiguous to you and you're able to point it out, some behaviors are ambiguous to you, like or something you don't have very strong opinions about, patriarchy or women's liberation, the equality of the sexes. You're not thinking about on a permanent basis. I mean, nobody has opinions about every serious topic on earth. You might have an opinion about patriarchy and women's liberation and equality and all that. But if I would ask you, what is your opinion on animal rights? You might not have an opinion on that. But if you can find humor in that, and I'm going to leave this like that because it's hard for me to come up with an example of ambiguity in action. But if you can find something which is something the audience does not think about a lot, but then ask them questions or share some insights into those aspects of life, there can be humor there. All right. So that brings me to the end of the building blocks of the ABCs of humor. Let's do an activity if that's okay with everyone. All right. Okay. So we had I'm going to go back to an activity that we did with the previous club. We had an incident during the Olympics where one of the Olympians from India was disqualified because she was not able to meet her weight targets. She was competing in the 50 kg wrestling and her weight was 50 kgs and 100 grams. Do we know who I'm talking about?
Vinesh Fogart.
Right.
Vinesh.
So, yes, Vinesh Fogart. Fogart. Is it Fogart or Fogart?
Fogart.
Is there an R or not there?
Phogat. No, there's no R.
No R. Okay. All right. Vinesh Fogart that's the person we're talking about. Now, how do we introduce humor in this? Like, it is a serious situation for her. It's really embarrassing and sad for her that she was not able to compete the way she wanted to compete in the Olympics. But can we find humor in this? For example, okay, I won't give examples. Let's start with the audience. What do you guys think could be? Oh yeah, Shivani, you look like you're ready to go. Let's do it.
Yes, I'm not sure, but I'll just try. Like, do you know how 100 grams can transfer us from Paris to India?
Do you know how? What's the punchline? So yes, do you know how 100 grams can transport us from Paris to India? Go ahead.
This was the punchline.
That was the punchline. Okay. Sumit, go ahead.
Okay. So I failed in my annual medicals. I was Fogatized.
I was Fogatized. Were you overweight by a little bit and your boss or your...
Probably that was, I was Fogatized.
All right, Fogatized, you're verbifying her misfortune. That's a good start. Anybody else wants to share a joke? There's a lot of things you can do. There are a lot of things you can do to make this funny. Let me give you an example. Maybe it's too much information, but this morning, I checked my weight before and after going to the bathroom, and I'd lost about a kg. I wonder why Vinesh didn't do something like that. So that you can find humor in that, right? Then, right during the Olympics, I think it was the Bulgarian, one of the Bulgarian teams which swam in the Seine, and they were infected with the stomach virus. And they were not even able to compete at the next levels. So maybe a joke could be found over there that what if Vinesh had gone for a swim in the Seine and had gotten stomach virus and had come back to lose weight? Would that have helped her? Right? people last time made jokes about cutting your hair. Like Vinesh had a full head of hair. Losing that hair would have given her an opportunity to lose some weight. So when you are in a situation where you have to find something funny to say about the incident at hand, don't expect that something will pop into your head and you'll know immediately that, this is what is going to be funny. Do some research, do some background reading on what happened, what was going on in Vinesh's life when she was disqualified. What are the opportunities? What are the things they tried to help her lose weight? And something will stand out from those activities and events that surrounded the fact that she was disqualified. And that will help you find humor. Like the fact that the Bulgarian team swam in the Seine right around the time that she's being disqualified, and they were not able to compete anymore because they all had an upset stomach. And when you have an upset stomach, what happens? Everybody knows what happens when you have an upset stomach. You don't have to spell it out. When you have an upset stomach, you lose weight. In its own way, you lose weight. And that could have been something that Vinesh tried. Cutting your hair could have been something Vinesh tried. Or, I don't know, going in naked would have been something Vinesh tried. There are a lot of different things you can say about a situation. And I'm giving this to you as an exercise. When you go back tonight and you think about our conversation today, pick any headline, read up about it, and see if you can find an angle which makes it slightly funny. Toilet jokes are always funny. So if you make a joke about Vinesh Fogart having to sit on the toilet to lose weight, it's always going to be funny. Everybody's always going to find it funny. All right. So that was an activity that I am going to, and some ideas on tonsured head. And so, yeah, like mine, tonsured head, right? Suhashini, thank you. So that's what, if she had competed bald, maybe it would have been even better, because then now there's nothing for the opponent to hold on to when they're, I don't know, grappling or something, and she puts oil on her head and she slips out. Oh, that could be an excellent joke. She's Indian, so putting oil on her head is something a lot of Indians do. So if she doesn't have hair and she still puts oil, her head becomes slippery. It's a win-win. She loses weight and she's able to compete, and she's able to slip out of the opponent's grasp. That could have been something people could have tried. So yeah, so you guys are on the right track. So my recommendation is pick a headline, read all you can about it, and see if you can make a joke about it. And once you do that 1 or 2 times, I think you will feel that joke making is actually a science, not an art. And to bring you back to the first question I asked for the 3 people who were in the audience from the beginning, let's start with the person who I can only, 2 people I can only disappoint more. One person he was expecting something, but I could have disappointed him. Anand, what did you think about the session? Did you think that you learned anything useful?
Thank you so much for the insightful session. I would like to try one joke on my profession. So it goes like, by profession, I'm a lawyer. So it goes like, I'm a lawyer. I speak only truth, only truth, nothing other than truth, unless I'm being paid money for saying otherwise.
See, he's making fun of your own profession. That's nice. So we are feeling superior. So sorry, Ananda, I don't mean to dissect your joke too much. But when you make a joke about your profession, all of us in the audience, yeah, lawyers are like that, but we are not like that. We are software engineers, we are army officers, we are AI researchers, we are trainers. We're not like lawyers. Lawyers are the worst. We're feeling superior to you. We're laughing at you because we laugh. No, we're not laughing at you. We're laughing at your profession, but because we feel superior to you as a lawyer. That is funny. Okay, so this is bringing it back to the Sierra's thing. I just wanted to make sure that we connect the tissue between the two. All right, who else was there? Meenakshi, you were one of the people I was going to ask.
I don't know. I can just try, but I still don't know whether I got that funny bone. So it's like I research for artificial intelligence the whole day, but I would love to do some research on natural stupidity as well.
Do that. And if it comes up, we always have either myself or Sumit to try it on. Who was the third person? I sort of forgot. Was it Akshita? Was it you? Who was the third person? Well, Shivani, it was you. Okay. Shivani, go ahead. What do you think? I think you're muted.
I tried one, but I couldn't crack it. And as of now, I'm not able to think another one.
No, but you're on the right track.
I was framing something on LinkedIn that I met one person and I got a chance to talk to him. So he was like, I will be fired. My manager is not supportive. And the same day evening, when I opened the Instagram, opened the LinkedIn, I found he has posted his WOW award for excellent achievement in the team. So this makes me like I was framing on something on LinkedIn, like how people make things on LinkedIn and how they post.
So was he saying before this award was given to him, the same day on LinkedIn, you're saying that he's going to get fired?
Yes.
And then
And
later,
it's the same situation. Actually, that WOW award was initiative from our company that you can send this card to someone, and he created a card and sent it to himself, and then posted on LinkedIn.
wow, that person needs help. That's all I can think of. If you're making wow cards for yourself, that person needs a little
Yes,
bit
I
of.
was trying to frame something, but sorry, I couldn't.
That's all right. At least you felt that you could make progress in that direction. It's better than feeling that this is not for me at all. So just to recap, your HSC is coming up. Make a speech. Make sure the speech has a message. The purpose of being funny is to make the audience feel a certain way, really bond with the audience, and three, I forget what the third thing was. What is the third thing? Third reason why humor matters. Oh yeah, an alternative point of view. So that you need to share an alternative point of view on life. Humor comes in handy there. Sierra stands for surprise, incongruity, embarrassment, release and recognition, ambiguity, superiority, and categorization. Now, configuration. And finally, the activity we did. So thank you everyone for all the time you spent with me on understanding the elements, the ABCs of humor. If there's any feedback, I'd be happy to take it from you. Otherwise, I'm going to hand it back to Kalpana to take it forward. Thank you, Kalpana.
Thank you so much, Sai. Thank you. Thank you for the in-depth pointers, because you gave us so many points. I'm sure we can either use ambiguity, we can either use, the release or recognition, any of these points and the related stories or examples that you gave and create a humorous story ourselves. Any one of you all, if you all are comfortable with the various points given and the notes that you have taken down, and you have come across an idea, please use it, please write it, and do please participate. Yes, Sai, you have raised your hand.
I just wanted to say that the easiest to work with is embarrassment. If you feel embarrassed about something, it's probably going to be funny to everybody else. So even if you have nothing else to say, find those moments of embarrassment in your life. For example, if you're feeling embarrassed about being the first person in class every morning because you're so punctual and the rest of the class comes in later, if there's any embarrassment, or being called to or going to a party too early or too late, those are embarrassing moments. If you find something embarrassing happening in your life, somebody else will find it funny. So forget everything else in the CRS. Go with embarrassment. That's easy. You know the embarrassment that you're feeling inside. That's funny. Just trust me, it's funny. Just make a joke about it. Just make a speech about it. You'll be good to go. Back to you, Kalpana. Sorry.
No, I'm so happy you said that. So, here is a little bit more guidance. Any embarrassing moments of your life, please write it down, develop it as humorous speech. You can write down any recognitions that you might have come across, develop those stories of yours into a humorous speech. Ambiguity and superiority. I like the way Sai told us about superiority. Anywhere where you feel that you can make the audience feel superior to you, any incidents, that's where you can use your profession, use it to the maximum, and develop it as per the incidences that might have happened in your life as a humorous speech writer. So yes, guys, just have those brains ticking away, tick tock, bring in at least 100 grams of words on the paper and let us make it a weighty humorous competition. And thank you so much. With that, I will request my presiding officer, Shefali, to hand over a certificate of appreciation to none other but our great educationist today, Toastmasters Sai. A huge round of applause. We all had a wonderful takeaway. Shefali, as the set.
A minute, just a minute.
Sure. and while she is actually giving or reading the certificate.
Kalpana, I'm sorry. Actually, my screen cannot be shared.
Okay.
Can I share the certificate with you and you can share it?
No, let's do one thing. When we announce the results, right, we will be sharing the certificates. Is that fine?
Yeah, fine.
Give me the
ma'am.
host rights towards the end. All right, because I'm the co-host right now. Give me the host rights and then I'll start sharing the certificates. Is that fine?
Sure.
All right.
Sure.
Thank you, Sai. I think you will need to wait. WEIGHT.
So sorry about it, but
not at all. Before your certificate is handed over to you, very quickly, we are lacking time, but I'll just like to conclude about be a rainbow. Be a rainbow not for yourself, but for others. I wanted to make it interactive, but here is what I would like to tell you. With your every color represents an emotion. Every color is also an aura of each and every individual, of course. Each and every individual has a different aura altogether. Let me begin. Yes, Sumit, I just saw you raised your hand.
As I thought you were concluding the session as TMOD. We are still left with the
No,
general
no. I'll be handing
evaluation.
it over to you.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
not at all. I will be handing it over to you. Be a rainbow was a theme. I just want to say something on the theme to close it, and then I'll be coming to you. All right. So, how can we be a rainbow in someone's life? If you are a person who likes violet color, it is tranquility. Violet represents tranquility. Please be a tranquil person to other person who is a disturbed person. If your color, favorite color is, let me say, indigo, all right, then it is harmony. Indigo represents harmony. Live harmoniously. If that's your color, it means you have harmony inside you. Blue, we all know the all-encompassing blue of ocean and the sky, which means you're a warm person. If you have the warmth, shine with that warmth. Go to your colleagues, to your friends, to your family, and distribute that hope. G is green. Green is prosperity. Let us have each and every one around us prosper, whether it is a career or whether it is monetary wise by getting advice from Toastmaster Rupal about finance, CTC, and negotiation, or whether we can be prosperous with some of the humorous tips that has been given to us, and we write humorous speeches and win accolades. So with your green is over, R is for red. If red is your favorite color, remember one thing, it's for love, it's for passion. Love and passion can overcome anything and everything. Be there for your friends, be there for your family as a part of a colorful emotion to help them tide over anything that they are facing, any challenges, by giving them plenty of love and be passionate about whatever you do. O is orange. Orange is for creativity. The minute you look at the setting sun, you feel hundreds of thoughts, thousands of thoughts crossing your mind. Orange is also very creative when it comes to children. Instead of keeping on constantly scolding them, have orange in their rooms. Paint one wall is orange color. It's a vibrant color. It brings in vibrancy and takes away the clouds of doom. All right. So orange, VYBGY. Yellow was the one that I forgot. Yellow. When we talk about yellow, yellow is communication. I kept yellow last because we are Toastmasters. If we communicate the feelings and emotions of the rainbow colors, we ourselves become a rainbow in the life of others. I want each one of you all to be a rainbow so that you dispel the clouds of gloom. And now I'm coming down to the third and the last segment. The third and the last segment will be taken over by none other than Toastmaster Sumit. Toastmaster Sumit is our visiting AD, and this I want our presiding officer, Toastmaster Shefali, to give his introduction and also hand it over to him. Shefali, over to you. Please welcome him and hand it over to him as a general evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kalpana. Today we have with us our area director for area M1, Toastmaster Sumit Arias. Toastmaster Sumit, as I said before, was a army person, formerly. Now he works with Geo. I don't know much about him, but yeah, he's a very supportive area director. Whenever we need any help, we chat with him and he gives solution to us. We are very pleased to have you here, Toastmaster Sumit. Please, I hand over to you. But before that, I would like to have polls for best speaker, if it's okay
No,
with.
let's wait for that. No, Shefali, we'll have it towards the end. All right. We will even be doing our role player. Yeah, let's just hold it for this meeting. Let's just go with the flow. All right.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shefali. Sumit, I would like to add a word here to whatever my presiding officer has said. He is a table topic winner for the last Eloquence 2024. I have had the honor of knowing him as a speaker. I find him an eloquent speaker. He comes up with ideas, and the way he depicts each and every character that he speaks about, he is on a complete roll. There's a lot to learn from Sumit, and the fact that he is an area director has given us a huge boost and a huge support. With that, I would now like to welcome our general evaluator, Sumit, who has been kind enough to take up this role and help this meeting today. Sumit, the stage is all yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. Since we are actually running out of time, I think we need to extend the meeting by some time. Presiding officer, with your permission, can be extended by about 20 minutes because we have 3 speeches to be evaluated and then some other things. I mean, as I see it, we will be overshooting the time at least by 20 minutes.
Absolutely, Sumit,
Right.
It's fine. Thank you.
All right. So at the onset, I would request the poll for the speeches to be launched because the moment the evaluators bring out their comments, it is likely to cloud our mind as far as our own assessment of the speeches is concerned. So may I request the SA or the presiding officer to launch the polls so that we can poll in for the best speech, and thereafter I will go on to the evaluation section. In the meantime, I'll request the evaluators to be prepared with a 2 to 3 minutes evaluation of their target speaker.
It's done. We can go forward.
Right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, presiding officer. Let us dive right in, and I'm going to request the evaluator for speech number 1, Toastmaster Dhruv Tiwari, to evaluate Toastmaster Akshata for her L1P1 icebreaker. Dhruv, over to you.
First of all, I would like to congratulate Akshata, aka Puppy, for completing her L1P1 speech of dynamic leadership. Toastmaster Akshata told her about her journey of her father encouraging her for being an academician. And along her way, she discovered the transformative books like The Power of Subconscious Mind. She also told us that she found gurus in Vipassana. She also opened up about her vulnerable moments, like how she failed UPSC, and after that, how she recovered it from it, what insights she got. I would evaluate Toastmaster Akshata's speech by 4P method, which is praise, polish, perform, and potential. First, I would like to praise that Toastmaster Akshata's hand gestures was great, especially when she said, I certainly have. She used hand gestures like this, I certainly have. which is a really great from a perspective that it's her first speech. Another good thing was in Toastmaster Akshata's speech was her pause. She was using intentional pauses in her first speech. For example, she was saying, I was a bundle of a joy. Then she paused, and then she continued sentence, my parents. These intentional pauses, what important for a speech, it helps audience to process what Toastmaster Akshata is saying. The third thing I liked about Toastmaster Akshata is that her structure, and she completed her speech objective, which was to introduce herself to the club. Now, let's come to polish. One thing that would make Toastmaster Akshata's speech more better is stage movement. Toastmaster Akshata was still and do not moving at all. But if she moves, do a stage movement, she can do a lot better. I would go to perform. How she can do it? She can just come here, say some sentence, then move here, say some sentence, then move here, and repeat this whole process. Now talking about potential, we have seen a great potential in Toastmaster Akshata. That in her first speech, she was using hand gestures, she was using pauses, and her pathway is dynamic leadership. And I'm pretty sure she could become a great leader. Considering that many great leaders use podium and just don't require much stage movement at all. I wish Toastmaster Akshata best of luck for her future speeches, and I will share the evaluation after the meeting as well. Thank you. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dhruv. That was a very good evaluation that you gave. I will now call upon Toastmaster Akshaya Krishnan to evaluate her test speaker, Toastmaster Jay Singh. Again, timing is 2 to 3 minutes. Akshaya, over to you.
Thank you, General Evaluator. To my target speaker, Toastmaster Jay. First of all, I really liked your speech. I liked the way of connection between the mentorship of Socrates and Plato and connecting it to today's world of mentorship within the Toastmasters. So a few things that I liked was that you started with the question, trying to engage the audience. Second was telling the story of Socrates and Plato and their mentorship. So these were two of the very nice things that were said about through the entire speech. Next, what could be done better? One would be your background that you had could have I know it was for Independence Day, I'm sure you had it. So you could have changed the background to pictures of Plato and Socrates because they were a part of your speech, or some kind of background representing mentorship. Second, in between your speech, there was some way that you had deviated a little bit from the topic and then veered it back to the same path. But that slight deviation was a little difficult to, it was very easy to recognize it, but to someone who's listening to the entire speech, maybe it was not so evident. So that little deviation should not be there mostly, but you can try instead of that, including stories, various stories of your own mentorship that you had, and giving examples also of your mentees and mentors, both. Because I'm sure you are also a mentor to some people. So that was another thing you can try and change. Overall, the speech was absolutely amazing. I loved the entire path of the speech, the entire ebbs and flow of the speech. So well done, and hope you do well for next speeches as well. Thank you. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Evaluator, Toastmaster Akshaya, sorry, my mistake. Okay, I will now call upon the third evaluator, Toastmaster Meenakshi, who has evaluated Toastmaster Rupal, who was delivering her level 3 speech. Toastmaster Meenakshi, over to you.
Thank you, General Evaluator. I evaluated Toastmaster Rupal for her dynamic leadership pathway, level 3, and the topic was unlocking. Well, to begin with my evaluation, I would like to emphasize on why PowerPoint presentations are important as a project in the dynamic leadership pathway. So these PowerPoint slides are like the espresso shots of your speech. They'll keep things buzzing. and turn your message into a visual masterpiece. That's the aim of having a PowerPoint presentation. I will be using the CDD method for evaluating Drupal, that's content, design, and delivery. In content, as far as clarity, the overall presentation was easy to understand, concise, and focused. I like the use of adequate examples, like how to deduce your expected CTC out of what you know as of now. As far as the organization of speech was concerned, the presentation, though dealing with a sensitive topic, was flowing logically, and it had the perfectly clear structure that struck the most with me. Relevance. The title and content were not very well aligned. That's what I felt. Your title just said unlocking. If it was a bit more descriptive, it would have given out the purpose and the message very, very clearly. I come to the design because you were dealing with PowerPoint presentations. The readability. The slides were perfectly legible with clear font, which is desirable, and the font size was adequate, which could be read well. You used a very brilliant strategy of using a black font over white background, which provided sufficient contrast, and that was really commended. As far as the visual appeal was concerned, your slides had a consistent layout, which was very clever, and a common color scheme. That's also the reflection of a very, very good presentation. I would like to see more attractive layouts, considering that you are attempting the project which deals with PowerPoint presentations. As far as imagery in design is concerned, in a world of powerful design tools, you could have made use of tools like Smart Art or animated your slides more. Now I come to the third D, that's delivery. Your confidence, you spoke very comfortably and with authority, depicting the depth of research that you had done and your expertise in the topic. Pacing, the slide changes were well-timed and they were non-distractive, thus engaging audiences. Overall, a very impressive presentation dealing with a very sensitive topic, dealt with very meticulously. You can enhance your speech by incorporating more modern tools. You can use large language models to add in more imagery, make it more vivid. Thank you and wonderful presentation. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Meenakshi. With that, we come to the end of all the evaluations. May I request the timer to kindly give out the timings for all the evaluators, please?
Yes, sure. So for all the evaluators, first evaluator Dhruv Tiwari, time taken was 2 minutes 50 seconds. Second evaluator Akshay Krishnan, she took 1 minute 47 seconds, just 10 seconds less than the qualifying time. Then third evaluator TM Meenakshi Arya, she took 2 minutes and 45 seconds. Thank you. Thank you, General Evaluator.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you for the timing. So in that case, 2 evaluators have qualified for the polls.
Yes, but
May I request?
I think the second evaluator, they lagged by 10 seconds only, so that's okay.
Vinesh forgot. She overweight by 100 grams. Well, there are certain rules that we need to follow. And in this case, I mean, it is going to give Akshaya a need to, work on her timings. In this case, I think we'll launch for the poll for the 2 evaluators. May I request the presiding officer to launch the poll, please? And at the cost of the joke, can I say that Akshaya was forgotten?
We are done.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the confirmation. All right, I will start with the general evaluator evaluations. And for that, I will call upon the tag team to come up first. The timer has given us all the timings, so I don't suppose there is anything else for the timer to give to us at the moment. May I now call on the R counter to kindly come on the center stage and give us the R counter report, please.
Sure. I'm not able to share, so just I will read my report. Toastmasters Cephali, no crunch word, no filler word, no pause and no repetition, all clear. Toastmaster Sai, Annie, if use repeated repetitions, one R. Toastmaster Akshata, speaker one and to become a word has repeated in a speech. Toastmaster Jai Singh, one and one A, one er, and Y word has repeatedly used. Toastmaster Rupal, somebody is noted down, can share my AHA counter report. Toastmaster Dhruv Tiwari has one hour. Toastmaster Akshaya Krishnan has filler word used one two one so. Toastmaster Kalpana Kishore used one and this is completing my tag report. And other there is a no use of filler word or crunch word. Thank you, and over to you. Oh,
General evaluator.
yes.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, Counter. And the word that you need to watch out for is ah. So that is one thing that you can watch out for, because give it a pause. Instead of speaking anything, letting any other voice come out, sound come out of your throat, just give that pause and probably you'll be able to overcome that. Otherwise, it was quite nice. Thank you so much. We move on to the grammarian now. And before I move on, yeah, all right, over to the grammarian now, because I was going to say something, but I'll say that after the grammarian's report. Over to you, the grammarian, please.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator, and good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I feel really ecstatic to be here today in this meeting. The role players were full of vim and vigor, and speakers were exceptional that seldom I found any areas of improvement. Here's my report. Toastmaster Shefali shared walking in nature. Toastmaster Kalpana, pitter-patter, melancholy, which means sad, fascinating, versatile, which means adaptable, stage is all yours, and entity. Toastmaster Akshata used words like phrases like quite an adventure, joyful, bunch of joy, obsessed, dreaming to unlock the potential, accomplish, savoring the experiences, fosters, etc. Toastmaster Jay used tables turned and magic happens. Toastmaster Rupal bagging the deal, which means clinching the deal. Offer can be sealed, informed decision. Toastmaster Sai used funny bone, innate means hidden, on the fence, that means indecisive, contention, which is disagreement, lot of buzz, element of shock, amalgamation means combination of, savvy, veracity means conforming to facts, and authenticity, of course, real, incongruent, that is not in agreement, juxtapose, when compare and contrasting dissimilar things for greater poetic effect, and replete, that is full of, and ambiguity, which is vague. And quotes used by Akshata, happiness is not about materialistic things, but a state of mind. And also Toastmaster Sai, I think, used, do not judge a book by its cover. Word of the day was used once by Toastmaster Kalpana. She used a synonym of the word ecstatic, that is elated. And Toastmaster Akshata used the word of the day once. Idiom of the day, only sadly the grammarian used it twice, that is vim and vigor. Areas that can be improved, one of the color, it is one of the colors, and pronunciation of concepts, it's not concept, concept. So stupid. Actually, the word so is redundant here and can be avoided. Instead, we can replace it with, we can avoid that word so. It is conversation and not conversation in some pronunciation errors. And as Toastmaster is a professional platform, let's avoid using the slangs like guys, etc. Very essential. Here again, very can be avoided and probably can be replaced with critical, imperative, or probably necessary. And even pronunciation of compensation, it's not compensation, compensation. And Toastmaster Sai in his education session used Shatir Kiladi, but whenever we use Hindi word, it's obviously translated into English. Otherwise, overall, very less usage of areas of improvement and many good usages. So I'm really happy. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Madam Grammarian. It was indeed a very, very elaborate report, and you have taken out most of the points which I had noted down here. I thank you for the report, and I think you deserve a good round of applause. It was, I mean, listening is one of the hallmarks of Toastmasters, and I think you really put in a lot of effort in this. I'm really very happy with your report. Thank you so much. Okay, I will start the General Evaluators report, and let me start by saying that this is one club which I find always full of vim and vigor. They have challenges, but I always find that they are able to manage things so beautifully. And I'm sure the grammarian has noted that these other two scores were not required, but I just wanted to emphasize on this, that they always manage it in such a beautiful manner. It is amazing. So my compliments to the Speakers Community Club for again conducting another wonderful meeting that they have done so. Running through the report in a chronological manner, the SA introduced herself and the ground rules, and a good thing that she did was to ask everybody to rename. Quite a few of us forget this during these Zoom meetings. It was a good thing that you asked us, and we did it immediately. That gave a lot of context to the overall meeting as it progressed. An introduction to the presiding officer. The presiding officer came on stage, on screen, and she started with some general information, gave us some insight about the international speech contest, which has just concluded, and that was pretty good. The protocols were generally observed. Now, when I say generally observed, there would be an odd point that I would like to make here. Since yours is an online club and you have people coming in from everywhere, it is a good practice to ask for their biodata in advance so that you inadvertently do not end up saying something which is incorrect. So while I saw that some of the people had put in their small biodata and it was referred to, but this is something maybe you can look at as a presiding officer, because you will be doing these duties for the entire year or at least half the year, so that such things do not happen. Someone might take an offense to it. One. Second is the agenda which had been circulated, detailed agenda, but in my calculation, we were already short of time by about 20 minutes. Because if we see the, okay, thank you, Madam Timer. The general evaluator is the only one who doesn't have to look at cards for the timing. He or she has got an open-ended, yeah, thanks so much. That is the beauty of being a general evaluator. You must take on the duty. Thank you. So the agenda with 3 speeches and an evaluation and an education section, and the ground rule of calculating is that you straight away, if it's a 4 to 6 minute speech, 6 plus 2, 8, and if it's a 5 to 7 minute speech, add 9. That is a very rough calculation. Similarly, for every evaluation, add 4 minutes each, because 3.5 minutes is given and 30 seconds. So we were going to run out of time right in the beginning. I could see that. Maybe this is a small point that you can take in so that we can improve on the agenda before it is made. If required, maybe we can drop one speech so that we are going to be fitting it into time. Okay. The TMOD came onto the stage and gave a very beautiful description about the theme and built upon it by and by as we went around. And having known Toastmaster Kalpana, she is the wordsmith, and she kept that on throughout the meeting. She had a very good engagement with the audience, and it was very nice. She conducted the entire meeting as the TMOD very well. Now, coming on to the introduction of the tag team, there are 2 options. One option is that the presiding officer or the TMOD introduces the tag team, or second, it is given to the general evaluator, because they are going to be part of the joint general evaluators team. Both the formats are correct. Nothing is wrong in any of them. In this case, the TMOD did that, which is perfect, but just as a point. Otherwise, the tag team is supposed to be part of the general evaluators team. However, since the TMOD or the club officials know them better, it can be done with by the TMOD or the PO. generally by the TMOD, and that is totally correct. The timer. Okay, and the timer did a good job. Since it was her first time, I think a round of applause is due to her. I would suggest that timer should also go through the agenda so that he or she knows which sections are being covered and which sections are not. At some point in time, you have to bring out, okay, one way is that you give the timings for a particular section just before that section so that it is fresh in everybody's mind, right? And in this case, we were not having a table topic section, so there was no point making a mention of that. That is okay. One more thing that the timer can do, and it should do, is align yourself with the agenda as the meeting is progressing. That is how you will keep the TMOD, in knowledge of how the things are going on. The moment you say that, okay, we are ahead of the agenda by 10 minutes, or we are behind the agenda by 2 minutes, it is a small indication to the TMOD so that he or she can pace the meeting accordingly. So this is one thing that you can do. Okay, coming on to the prepared speeches, they have generally been covered by the evaluators, so it was pretty good. For Dhruv, I would like to say that you covered your evaluation quite well, but you should have given a bit of a challenge to the target speaker. It was L1 P1 for the target speaker. You covered the evaluation very well. You should have given her a bit of a challenge. For Akshata, what I would say is that it did not appear to be your L1 P1 speech. You did very well. I would say that it was better than a normal L1 P1. You paced it well. You used vocabulary quite nicely. And you did use the word of the day, though it took you off your speech for a moment and you had to, take a long pause after that. But I think well done. Coming on to Toastmaster Jai Singh and the evaluator. Toastmaster Jai Singh, good speech in the pathway of persuasive influence. Only small point I would like to make here, and this everybody might or might not agree with, is the use of the word when it is in two languages. We use the word Sukrat when we are referring to Socrates in Hindi. Whereas that made me initially think about Shukra or Shukracharya. But later on, I got to it that, okay, you're referring to Socrates. Similarly, you said Pluto for Plato. So it took me a bit of a time. And in an evaluation, when you are being evaluated, any of these small things can, take the mind of the evaluator away from focusing on to your speech. Otherwise, it was a very good speech. And I think you were able to make your point. One small point, BCE stands for Before Common Era. While it refers to AD 00 or the birth of Christ, but BCE actually refers to Before Common Era. For Akshata, sorry, again going to Akshata, it's Akshaya. Akshaya, 1 point, you started well, but I felt that you did not do the complete justice to the target speaker. You have 3 minutes available to you. You must, put in that effort so that the target speaker gets the complete thorough evaluation. And you should leave him with a challenge so that he or she can improve upon. That was one point that I would like to bring out here. TM Rupal, I think fantastic job done as far as the presentation was concerned and your entire speech. And whatever points were there, I think Toastmaster Meenakshi, your evaluator, has brought them out. And Toastmaster Meenakshi, again, I would say that it was a very, very good evaluation that you gave to Toastmaster Rupal. Most of the points which I had noted in my own notes have been covered. So that was very nice. Again, I would request you to leave her with a challenge so that, they have something to look forward to. We always talk about the 13% extra that someone has to go ahead to. Okay, now having completed this part, I come to the part of the education session, and I would not venture into that. In fact, I was ecstatic to see Toastmaster Sai coming on to take on this session, and he, as usual, was full of vim and vigor. So thank you so much, Toastmaster Sai, for having taken us through this session. We really enjoyed it, and there was a lot of learning which came about from your session. Thanks so much. That generally brings me to the end of my general evaluator report. As I mentioned earlier, it is always a pleasure to be part of this Speakers Community Toastmasters Club. There's always a lot to learn, and probably that is how all the colors of the rainbow come together in this speech, in this club, to give us the real vigor. Thank you so much. And since I'm also attending this meeting as part of my duties as the area director, I will request you to consider this as my area director's inputs also. Thank you so much. Back to you, presiding officer.
Thank you so much. I'll be taking over and I'll be handing the charge now to presiding officer Shefali. Shefali, the stage is all yours.
Thank you. But before we go forward, we'll be having polls for the remaining polls. First, I'm launching Best Auxiliary Role Player. We are done with the polls. Just give me a few minutes so that I can ready the certificates and share with Toastmaster Kalpana. Meanwhile, I'll request Toastmaster Kalpana to please have a chat with all of them so that I can do the work.
Sure. Sure. All right. Today we have among us, I don't know whether she is still here. Yes, Subhashini. I welcome you. She is actually the president of the Bhopal Toastmasters Club. She's just given it to us in writing. Thank you. Tell us, what did you think about the meeting? It's nice to have you here with us.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. When I saw Sai Ramachandran Toastmasters education session, I just jumped into it. And luckily, I could meet Toastmaster Sumit Arya also. I've heard about him. And great to be here. And this is the first time I'm attending Speakers Communities Toastmaster Club. Is it online every time? I don't know.
Yes, it is online. Yes.
Okay, so ours is from District 98, J5 area.
Okay.
And we are just chartered in April, and I had been with Toastmasters for quite a long time. So I've taken up the presidentship here. So it's an amazing, I couldn't, the icebreakers were like pro. They were really doing so good. I was really astounded with their performance. And even the role players, it was a tough when it came as a poll. I didn't know who to vote for. So the standard is very good. I appreciate whoever is taking up the mentorship of all these people who had come in as new freshers. Very good job. And thank you, Toastmaster Sai, again. It was wonderful because like Toastmaster Meenakshi was telling, I don't have a funny bone. I'm a serious professional. I'm a teacher who has to be so strict in school with the kids because we handle all the teenagers. But I think you made me to laugh. And you had given me enough and enough of point to give a humorous speech in my club. So I really thank you for that. And all of you did a fantastic and fantabulous job. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Subhashini, for those kind words. It really encourages each and every one of us to maintain the standard of our meetings. I see, I think Jay has just left, so I had to just leave him a message. Let me just go to Ranjini, and then I'll be coming to Meenakshi. Just give me a second. Yes, Ranjini, I'm really very, very happy that you joined us today. It's very rare to have you with us in our meeting. So tell me, what did you think of our meeting? What is your takeaway and any suggestions?
It's really amazing. The reason I was not able to join your meeting is we meet, offline every Sunday. And this time I'm able to join you because I'm in my native place. So I thought, let me, and our club meets only, offline. We don't have the hybrid. So I thought, and whenever any club asks for any role bearers, and if at all I'm free, I would just love to go and, help them out. That is my reason. And I thoroughly enjoyed today's meeting. It was just too good, especially the icebreaker speeches. It is amazing. Thank you so much for all your, initiatives. The club has really shaped so well. All the best.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ranjini. To be honest, I am always on a lookout for a good grammarian. And we do find people taking up the role of the grammarian, but to give us a detailed report like the way you did, that is something of a challenge. We do get who are, observant and have the listening capability to give us a positive feedback with good guidance. And you did that today for our club. So thank you so much, for that. It really made me feel happy that most of my participants did realize what it is to give a grammarian's report. Thank you so much. And yes, Toastmaster Meenakshi, Shifali, would you like to take over and talk to the guest now as presiding officer? I see you're back.
Yeah,
All right. I'm just handing the post back to my presiding officer. She'll be conversing with you. Go ahead, Shifali.
We'll go forward with Toastmaster Meenakshi. I would love to hear how you feel today with us.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shifali. I'm truly ecstatic seeing the vim and vigor of all the participants of this meeting. When Sumit told me they are looking for an evaluator, though I have my own club's meeting today at 10:30 p.m. and I'm serving as a timer, the grammarian, and the counter for my own meeting. But I took this opportunity to be a part of your meetings because they are really invigorating and I find a lot of variety. People come prepared. That's most important, what I look forward in any Toastmasters club. The meeting is very well organized always. And I always see people very willingly taking up the roles and filling up if there's a last minute requirement. At the same time, I like the quality of speeches. I like the way the whole event is conducted. So kudos to all of you and keep up this vim and vigor and keep giving us this ecstasy throughout your journey. And I wish you, the club, all the best. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Meenakshi. Shall we go forward with certificates, Kalpana? Is it ready? You're on mute.
Thank you. I think you can take a word from Sumit also before we move on.
Just now,
coming to sign later on. Yeah. And Dhruv, please hold on.
I have already spoken my heart out. I'm left with no words now. I mean, literally speaking now, I'm forgotten for words.
Toastmaster Dhruv, please go forward.
All right. So here we are. A huge round.
We'll be back to Toastmaster Dhruv, but before that, let's
share the certificates first.
Yeah.
Yes. A huge round of applause to our educationist Toastmaster Sai. Sai, thank you so much for that insight into that everyone has that humor kida or the worm of humor within us, and we need to tap it away to turn it into a butterfly.
I would request Kalpana to put it in presentation mode so that I can take screenshot of it.
You're asking someone who is a little bit, just a second, okay?
Kalpana, click on enable editing first, the one on top. You have enable editing.
Yeah, just a second.
There's one more thing. There's a typo in the name. Can you add an M? After the M, can you add an A, please?
Okay, sure. We can.
And now you go to slideshow.
Yes.
Kalpana, please add an A also.
Huh?
Please add an A in Rama. Chandran.
After the M, there's an A after the M. Yes. That's it's a very common mistake. A lot of people make the same mistake.
Okay.
I'll keep it in mind, okay?
I am unable to go to the 1 second. Just give me a second, guys. I'll just because it is overlapping. It's overlapping, so I'm unable to.
Kalpana. Right.
Now is it fine?
No. Zoom out. Click on this minus sign.
Yeah.
Again. Just the left of it. left of
yes,
my
yes. I got it. It was taught to me by my daughter, but God help me.
just
I forgot. All right, please take a photograph of. I'm just highlighting.
it's done.
It's done.
Next,
Okay.
yeah, please change the slide to the last one. Okay, last
Okay.
one.
The best auxiliary. Why did you want me to change it to the last one?
Because it was having an icebreaker certificate, so
We will give it later. We'll give it later. Let's go as per this.
Okay.
Otherwise, there'll be confusion.
Toastmaster Ranjini.
The best auxiliary. Let us just highlight. Congratulations, Ranjini. Thank you so much. I hope you go less to your physical meets and attend our meetings. Please highlight Ranjini.
Toastmaster Ranjini, I'll request you to please start your video so that I can spotlight you. Yeah. Now
I didn't realize my video was switched off. Oh, sorry. Thank you so much.
Just a minute, okay? Yeah, it's done.
It's done. All right. Yes. Best role player is fantastic. Thank you so much for the calm way, right? Would you agree with me, Shefali?
Yeah, definitely. I'll have to, have words with Toastmaster Sumit. He gave a huge and, long evaluation. So
thank you. A lot of takeaways. Thank you, Sumit. We
yeah.
will be implementing them. Thanks.
Let's go forward. We are done.
Thank you, Shefali. Oh, wow. I think we should have the couple over always. Congratulations, Meenakshi.
Yeah, done.
Done? Yes, for the best speaker. Oh,
Akshita, for being the best speaker today.
Congratulations, Akshita.
Just a minute. Yeah, done.
Thank you. And we will be presenting the icebreaker certificate is remaining. So please, congratulations, Akshita.
Congratulations, Akshita. Thank you for starting. And we look forward to your journey as a Toastmaster in our club. Thank you for attempting your icebreaker today.
Thank you. Are we missing out
on anything?
Thank
you so much. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.
We will be sharing the certificates in the group. So please don't leave the group before getting your certificate and the screenshot, obviously.
Yes.
Thank you so much, everyone. I would request Toastmaster Shimani to please start her video so that I can take a screenshot again. I have taken so many screenshots today. I'll be sharing it soon. Yeah, thank you. On count of 3, please smile, okay? 1, 2, 3. Done. Thank you so much for joining us today. And I understand that we are half an hour late than the scheduled time. Thank you for your patience. And today you joined us. With this, I end this meeting. Thank you, Toastmaster Sumit, for coming and giving an insightful things so that we can improve on our meetings. Thank you so much.